police officers and some stuff they did last night. One of them's name was Lieutenant Yebert, and the other one's Sergeant Wright.
Okay.
I'm calling internal affairs as they told me to do last night when I talked to that lieutenant about what them cops did in that video or that live stream. Shouldn't say video because it was a live stream. I'm going to call them. I'm in the process of calling them, by the way. I also am going to also make some personal reports against some of the other that I dealt with because they gave me a rough time and a hard time and wouldn't give me information when I asked information, things like that. So I'm going to call them. Albert, last night, Terrence County deputies broke into News Now Fort Worth's house and stole a child out of its mother's arms. Okay, hold on. Yes, ma'am. I can hold. Um, they stole the child out of its mother's arms after they knocked her to the ground, and because I'm gonna ask that, but they kept saying when they were supposedly serving a fake warrant, because they call it a fake warrant because it had absolutely no signatures on that warrant. Okay, and they even tried to cover it up the second time they showed the warrant, so it was a fake warrant. It was a null and void warrant without signatures. They broke into their house after saying that they were there for the child's safety, and they proved what the child they proved how much they are for child safety when they knocked the woman to the uh, yeah, cops are bloody fucking kidnappers, dude. Bloody fucking kidnappers. They knocked her to the ground, a blonde, fat ass pig woman. Fucking knocked her to the ground while she was trying to hand her child off to get her out of a dangerous situation. Okay. Knocked her to the ground with the child in her hands. And then the guy cop jumped on top of her to hold her down to keep her from passing the child off. So it was in a safe situation and out of that broil of bodies. Lieutenant who? Cruiser. Okay. How are you, Lieutenant Cruiser? Um, I have a very big problem with a live stream I watched last night and some of your officers. And live streams can't be edited. They can't be said, oh, they did this and they did that. Live means it's live. It's happening right then and there. Okay. And I was told a Lieutenant Gabbert and a Sergeant Wright were the main officers on scene. Okay. They served a unsigned warrant. Okay, for a CPS or Division of Family Services thing. Uh, on some people. Uh, their live stream is News Now Fort Worth, and now I do know one thing: if you have an unsigned warrant, uh, that's a null and void warrant. It cannot be used. They writ of attachment don't give them the right to come into the house and force their way into the house. First of all, I have a very big problem with them taking an oath stating they're going to uphold the law and they break the law themselves. Um, and then they also say they're going to protect the Constitution against foreign and domestic enemies. By not upholding the law and holding up that portion of their oath, they just became a domestic enemy, also against the Constitution. Okay, so they threw the Constitution out the window, and they threw laws out the window. What I saw was them being Nazis. You ever read a history of what the Nazis did over in Germany to the Jewish people?
Yes, sir. I'm very familiar with the
That's
Holocaust.
exactly what they just did last night to get a child out of a mother's arms. They knocked her to the ground after they were told not to come into the house. One of them opened the door, so they would not kick in their door because they kept saying they would kick in the door and they had no right to be in the house. They were told, do not come in the house after the door was open. They forced their way into their house, knocked the lady to the ground after saying they have the child's safety in concern. The child's in the mother's arms. They knocked her to the ground. This blonde cop knocks her to the ground. And then the man cop jumps on her so she cannot pass the child off to someone that was out of that broiled up mess. And then they snatched the child out of her hands. What part of that? What part of that was lawful?
Sir, they had a signed writ of attachment, which is an order from a judge
that gives them no, the writ of attachment does not give them the writ of attachment does not give your officers the right to enter a domicile. And you know this. No, I'm addressing your officers and them not upholding the law and breaking the law. That's what I'm addressing right now. I'll address the court later. I'm addressing that right now. Okay. Your officers had no right, even with that writ. That writ, I can wipe my butt with it, and you still can't come in the house when you're told not to enter the house. And you know this. Now, are you going to still keep doing the blue line defense thing? Or are you actually going to do something about your officers and uphold your oath to uphold the law and uphold your oath to defend the Constitution? I would like to see the full extent of the law that a civilian would face for breaking and entering into a home done to your officers. Not what an officer would get, because we know that's two different things. Because what you'll do is say, oh, well, there's a, at most, is what you'll do is you'll say, well, there's pink slip in your jacket because someone claimed this about you. That's at most what you'll do. If you want what I want the full extent of the law uh, uh, as them being civilian. Yes, as them being civilians. Because if I would have done the very same thing they did, I would be in jail right now. And that's breaking and entering into a home. Okay. Now, wouldn't I be in jail if I did that? You know a writ does not give you any reason or capability to go into a house when you were told to not enter the house. And you know that. That writ could be why it's no better than a roll of toilet paper. And you know that. So why are you protecting you're doing your blue line defense stuff? I thought you were here to investigate and deal with officers accordingly to them breaking the law. Breaking and entering, kidnapping, just a couple. That's exactly what they did. And they were saying they were doing this under the pretense of the child's safety. They endangered that child. What part of that do you not understand? The child's safety was not taken into consideration when they knocked that woman to the ground when she was trying to hand the child to someone so she could get it out of danger. Okay? They attacked her and threw her on the ground with the child in her hands because they would not allow her to hand the child off. Then your male officer jumps on her and pins her to the ground with the child in their hands. What part of that is child safety? What part of it? Can you answer me this? Oh, that's the biggest lie I ever seen. Then why was that female officer on top of her and oh, and that male officer wasn't on her either with his knee on her leg. Okay. Are we watching the same video here? Are we not watching her knock that woman down? I watched her knock her down, and I guarantee you, when that video goes to court, they'll say, "Yes, she knocked her down." If they actually do that. My name is Concerned Citizen. So you're telling me the police are going to police the police? Oh, you're going to have him contact me. just like they said they were going to have him contact me last night, and supposedly you had a shift change, and that supervisor was no longer there, and different lieutenants supposedly called me. I don't that was Lieutenant hold on, I'm trying to find her number here. Trying to find her badge number. Um, yeah. Okay.
Over the entire patrol division, sir.
I'll give you my phone number. You're more
Okay.
than welcome to have that. I'll give you that.
Okay.
I don't mind you having that. If you actually could guarantee me that they're going to call me.
Promise on that, but I will certainly pass the information on to him and advise him that you are requesting that. I can't give
So
that individual a direct order. Okay.
Well, I
But I
understand.
am more than willing to contact him and express your explicit concerns as to the action of our officers, your concerns about her and the criminal charges that you feel have been committed.
So this is your super. So this is your supervisor. So you're not doing your job as internal affairs and internal investigations. You're just wanting to pass on the buck and know that he more than likely ain't going to call me. So have you even taken down any of these? I ain't going to play day or two. No, something needs to be done about this now. That's what your job's for. Is to get an investigation start. An investigation needs to be started today into these allegations. And I don't see why you just want to pass me on. And 9 times out of 10, someone that high ain't going to call. We know that. That's 9 times out of 10. One time I might get lucky. Well, I see people breaking their oaths in your police department. I have a problem. Your integrity's already been taken into account. You have none. When you can blatantly break your oaths and not uphold the law, and blatantly make yourself domestic enemies of the Constitution, your integrity comes into account there, and I don't see much integrity. Oh, I know their integrity's been compromised. They done proved that many times over. Their integrity's done been compromised, and they won't give you any information to go past them. That's another reason why their integrity's been compromised. When you want to go past them, they won't even give you any information to go past them. So Texas Rangers you're well, have you even taken down any of the complaint? Now, I also got another complaint on one of your phone people. His yeah, the people that answer your phone. His number is M as in Michael 179. He decided he wanted to play he decided to play he decided to play investigator. M 179. Yep. I didn't know someone that answers the phones and is employed only to answer the phones was also an investigator. Um, that's pretty
Sir, we don't have
interesting.
anybody.
Oh, you don't have an operator.
That's
That's the number he gave me. He said his number was M179. Yep. So now you got see, here's more lies from your Tarrant County police officers. Okay, sheriff's officer, whatever you want to call yourself. You're a freaking cop. Okay, how's that? I'll generalize you all as a cop. All right. So let's get the technicalities out of the way. I'll generalize you. Okay. This gentleman I called Tarrant County said his number was M179. He answered the phone. So now we got more lies being told by Tarrant County. And by the way, I let them know they were being recorded. It was recorded on my phone. Oh, I sure will. I surely will. I surely will. I
Do you
need.
need our address?
I'm going. I was going to say I can either look it up on the internet or I'll freaking uh
I'll happily
ask you
give it
for
to
it.
you, sir.
Hold on. Let me get my pen open. Well, let me get this. All right, go ahead. Spell it. A-N-T. T. Hold on. Let me make sure I spelled this right. Tarrant. Sheriff. Okay, hold on. Tarrant County Sheriff's Department, right? Okay, County Sheriff's Depot. Okay, got that. Okay. And Internal Affairs Division. 200. Spelled Taylor. Okay. There's Texas. 76196. Cool. All right. So,
was wrong and incident that was on YouTube, you're welcome to do that as well. Okay.
yep. You got a website page I could fill one out on, right?
We don't have the complaint form online, but if you would like, we would happily mail you one if that's what you would like, or I can email it to you.
Okay, go
Do you
ahead.
have an email address?
Yeah, you can email me at newsnowtimmy Lynn at outlook.com.
All right, hang on. News Now Timmy, Timmy.
No, Tammy, Tammy. Lynn,
Okay.
Lynn at outlook.com.
News NEW.
Yeah.
Okay. And email you.
Yes, please.
Okay.
I would appreciate that very much. And I'll email it back to you. And but you did say you took down what I had to say too, right? So let's get back. Now that we got that all straightened out, let's get back to what you were talking about, that higher up supervisor.
Yes, sir.
You said
The supervisor over the lieutenants is the chief deputy of the patrol division.
okay. Okay,
If
hold
you
on.
would like, I'm happy to pass your name and number to him.
Hold on. Hold on.
And
Okay. Chief Dep uh, Deputy what? He's the chief deputy what? Over patrol division. Over patrol division. Okay, and what's his name? Chief Deputy Tim Canis? Hold on. Hold on. Spell it again. C-A-N. Oh, Canis. C-A-N. What now? E-S? A-S. Okay. Tim Canis. Okay.
yes, sir.
All right. And and you said you would have him call me back? Or try or try to at least
I will pass your concerns on about the forced entry, about the criminal that you believe kidnapping, unlawful entry, and all the rest of that kind of stuff. I will pass all your concerns on, and that you would desire him to contact you.
that would be awesome. If he
Okay.
calls me back, that's another thing. At least you said, hopefully you'll send me that email um, with that and all that. Like I said, integrity is a big part.
I'll send a complaint form and a voluntary statement. Okay.
All right, I appreciate that because right now I have a hard time believing the integrity. Okay,
Understood.
and please, at least hold true to your word and try to redeem some integrity for your department.
So, what is your name and contact number, sir?
Like I said, I'll give you my phone number. It's 717-797-298. And you can ask for William.
William. Okay. 797. I'm sorry. 717-797, and then you cut out. What's the last four again?
7298.
7298. Okay.
And you can ask for William.
Okay.
But I can tell you
I will
this.
pass that on, and I will get these forms mailed to you, sir.
I can tell you this. I understand it's almost almost 4 o'clock your time. I will give him till probably about 2 o'clock tomorrow, and I'll be calling you back if I haven't heard from him.
Okay. Well, I can't promise you how fast he'll call you back. Okay. I don't know what he has going on, but I will forward all your stuff to him. Okay.
So you can't give me an about time so I know I could be somewhere with my phone that ain't going to be important enough to where I can't answer my phone at the time?
No, sir. I have no idea what his schedule is like the rest of it today or tomorrow. Okay.
All right.
Are you in Central Time Zone?
No, I'm in Eastern.
Eastern Time Zone. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate it.
All right.
And thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
And IQB, according even to the police, it was not a warrant. It was called a writ, which a writ is no better than anything I could wipe my ass with. They had no right to enter the home. You need to look up what a writ is. It was not a warrant. It was a writ, according to that gentleman right there, who is the internal affair investigator of Tarrant County. Now, you're also sitting there saying nothing I've ever seen there for saying thanks for letting me see the signature. I want to know where that is on the video when I've watched that video about 20 times. We know you're a freaking cop. I could be. Quit doing your blue line ISIS bullcrap. Because that's what you're doing. And I just blew it out of the water by finding out it was a writ. And a writ is nothing but a piece of paper that you can wipe your ass with. Now, there you go. If y'all would like to come in, there's the StreamYard link. You're more than welcome to come in. I'm sorry, when it comes to kids, that blue line ISIS shit don't fly with me, and I don't care who you are. And I hope you all understand that. Anybody that can't comprehend what was done was wrong is beyond help. I'm sorry. And that's the way I see it. Thank you, Barbara. So I found out some information there that they still had no reason to come in to that house under any circumstances. I can have 400 writs and nothing can be done with a writ. That's why they have warrants. No, they showed an unsigned writ, a balance writ. It wasn't even a warrant. It was a writ, which is no better than something I can wipe my ass with. You might as well roll it up and use it to wipe your ass with after you take a shit in the toilet. That's how how useful that writ is. So yet again, the police had no reason to enter that house. They had no reason to physically touch that woman. They had no reason to do anything they did. Actually, a writ, you can take that. It's no better than a fucking piece of toilet paper, Sinister. You need to look that up. It's no better than a piece of toilet paper. It can be signed by 200 judges and 300 witnesses and freaking and the writ cannot it don't work as a warrant. It works as a piece of paper stating why they're there. That's it. It does not give them permission to enter the house. And look up a writ, a balance. Look up the writ. You all need to look up. Y'all need to quit believing your fucking cops. Look it up. Quit citing this bullshit and look it up. You'll find out a writ is no more better than a form of paper that states what they're there for. That's it. They don't hold any other legal authorities. A writ is nothing. It is not a form of a warrant. If that's the case, then they would have if they would have if that's the case, they would have come into my mom's house when she pulled a gun on them and told them to leave the fucking property when they were trying to steal me back in the day. Yeah, my mom pulled the guns on a cop and they left because they had a writ. They didn't have an actual warrant. A writ you can wipe your ass with. There's your understanding there, A Balance. Now, granted, that was also back in the day when you get away with a lot of things, like pulling a gun on a cop when they're at your house trying to trespass on your property. Okay. No offense, Brian. You said that before. I've caught you in. I've caught you in. No offense. Right back. I'm back. Sorry about that. No, not a writ of habeas corpus, man. A writ that states just what they're there for is all it does. It's not. It don't give them the powers of a warrant. They weren't marshals, Brian. You're bringing in marshals now. They weren't marshals. They were county cops. For one, and for two, a writ. And you can look up court cases on this, Brian. Writs are no better than something to wipe your ass with. Not trying to be a dick. There's court cases on it. Right there in Texas where that happened, by the way. And shit had to be thrown out of court and everything else. Because it was a writ that they went on. No, it don't. All right. Now, damn it. A writ, okay, is a former written order by a body with administrative or judicial or adjudication in modern uses. This body is in conjunction with a warrant. That is the Wikipedia's definition. It's in conjunction with a warrant. Now, there you go. Is Wikipedia wrong? I just looked it up. I could be. And that's what Wikipedia said. It's in conjunction with a warrant. The word conjunction is what you're forgetting. You're forgetting conjunction. In conjunction. Do you know what that entails? That could be. That means you got to have both. And why aren't you coming on the panel? You don't have to type. It's easier to talk, ain't it? I think it's easier to talk. No, I see the wording. I don't need to see through my hate. I see the wording. Do you not know what the words in conjunctions means? Hey,
Well,
no, it's only a joke because it's not following what you think's right, Mister Blue Line Iceland.
Echo.
Oops, I mean I could be.
Oh,
If it's everything in your definition, you would have been. Oh, Wikipedia's the best thing since peanut butter and jelly and pocket on a shirt.
that is true, bro.
But it's not going with what you have to say. So
Wikipedia is a joke, dude, because anybody can go in there and fucking
just saying.
Put anything. I don't trust Wikipedia any farther than I can fucking throw it. He is right about
No
that.
better than the guy that was trying to push me off to another person from internal affairs, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, it does. You want the definition? Full definition? Okay. In common law, writ, Anglo-Saxon, G-writ, Latin brev is a formal written order issued by a body with administrative or judicial jurisdiction. In modern uses, this body generally is in conjunction with warrants, progressive prerogative writs, and subpoenas are common types of writs. They could have subpoenaed him to court, according to this.
Nah, fuck Wikipedia. I don't trust it any farther than I can throw it. And I've been on the internet for quite a long time now.
And then it goes on to explain it from its earliest forms. It even gave the examples of writs of showing where in the feudal area, a military summons by the king, so on and so forth. In early uses, serves in the United Kingdoms, Canada, Australia, a writ of election, which is a written order issued on the behalf of a monarch. And it goes on to actually give all different types of writs and everything. But it still says it's got to be in conjunction. The word conjunction is in there with a warrant. I'm sorry. It's right there. I've read it now twice. It does say there are different types of writs, like subpoenas. That is a writ. No, it's got to be in conjunction with it. Hey, Peachy, what's up?
Hey, Tammy Lin. Hi, Metalhead.
Hey.
My question to I Could Be is, he says he has issued many writs and warrants. My question to I Could Be is, when you issue a writ or a warrant, do you specifically say, I'm here on a writ of attachment or a writ whatever? Or do you say warrant? Or does warrant cover both of those? I could be.
A warrant can cover the writ according to this, but according to this, a writ can't cover a warrant. They got to be in conjunction with each other.
And
in conjunction means they got to be together.
and my whole thing, what I saw, and I only watched it once because that's all I could watch it. I didn't go back, and I definitely didn't go back to pause. Well, first of all, they said it was a warrant, and second of all, I saw the officer's fingers over the signature, where the judge's signature should have been. Was that right or wrong, Tammy?
There was no signature, none.
And you saw
I stopped it. I froze it. I even freaking I freeze framed it, and
right.
I made it expand so I could see. There was no. I don't care what anybody says. There was no signature on it.
Oh, let me ask you this: was the officer's fingers over where the signature?
The second time, yes. The second time, yes. The
Okay.
first time, no. The second
Okay.
time showed me I needed to go back and look at the first time again,
Right.
and expand it, because the second time he put his fingers over where the signature
Yeah,
should be.
that's what I saw. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the first time you went back and looked at it and there was nothing.
Right.
Yeah. Well, see, when you're in that situation, that stressful situation, you don't know what the F you're looking at. You know, you just don't. They can throw up anything, and your mind is racing 1,000 miles per hour, and they flash it within 2, 3, 4 seconds, and what the hell?
Yep.
So I know a lot of people are saying the gentleman that opened the door, which was her brother or brother-in-law, I'm not sure.
Brother, I believe.
It was her brother that opened the door. I'm not so sure what I would have done in that situation.
I would have never opened the door.
Yeah.
Because they had no reason to come in.
Right, but
here's the other thing. The other thing, though. Even
Yeah.
though he opened the door, they were told, you are not welcome in this house.
Right.
So that still made it an unlawful entry. Because if I personally were to do that, what would happen? Wouldn't I be arrested and thrown in jail?
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, we're trying to dissect what we saw just on the information that we're seeing with our eyeballs and what we're hearing from our ears.
Mhm.
And
and actually looking it up too.
yeah.
Yeah. And getting proper wording.
Yeah, well, that's a big thing with the IA telling you it was a writ.
Mm-hmm.
I think
The
now
writ's no more better without that warrant than something I could wipe my ass with. And there's
I don't know.
There's court cases where they've had to throw things out of the court in Texas because all they did was go on a writ.
And how do you know that?
You can look that up. Different court cases on
Well,
writs.
I know, but how do you know that right off the top of your head?
What? That a writ's no better than a piece of paper that I can wipe my ass with?
No, that's happened in Texas. That there's been cases.
Because you can look it up. I did.
I know. Is that what you did last night?
Yeah, I did a lot of research into this.
I gotcha. That's why I'm asking, because I didn't know. I'm proud of you. I mean, I didn't mean to snap at. I'm not sure who was in the chat last night, but he's like, "You're getting nowhere," and I'm like, "Well, I don't see you calling."
Right.
But we do have a right to redress our government in a respectful manner, and I think that you've been very respectful.
Oh, I wasn't to begin with when they decided to tell me how I was going to conduct myself and how I was going
Yeah.
to proceed with that phone call.
Yeah.
Oh no, you didn't even hear that. Gen
I
T had to
didn't.
come in. No. That phone call I didn't do live stream. Gen T had to come in here and tell me to calm down.
Yeah.
I was turning purple.
Well, I'm concerned because you're smoking the hell out of the cigarettes.
Yeah,
As
I am.
I know.
This is something that's very near and dear to me,
I
to my
know.
heart.
I can tell you're very passionate about it, and I was very
And
concerned about your. I know I was having heart palpitations last night, just with it all. Just it's all too much. Yeah. So I could tell that you're being getting very stressed,
yeah,
and smoking cigarettes, being stressed, and smoking at the same time is
mhm.
like, oh, I'm worried. That's why I was like, calm down, calm down. And I
It's
know,
hard to
yeah,
calm down now on this
I
one,
know,
you
I
know,
know, I
because my
know.
problem that I'm seeing, and here's the big picture. I'm seeing history repeating itself.
Right.
Okay. No, it's not the Native Americans this time. It's the general public of the United States.
Yeah.
Now, this is happening to. And the statistics show that 47% of children are taken from their homes by government. News Now Fort Worth, uh, Brian, 47% of them children that are taken from their home and put in foster care or governmental care are unsubstantiated. Only 53% are substantiated. There's a scary statistic. And that
Uh,
ain't Wikipedia. That's straight from the government's website.
Tammy Linland.
No, I'm telling that to the people in chat.
Yeah, I know, but can I chime in something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I could be, and I heard News Now Fort Worth say that he saw a signature too, but could he had not been incorrect about seeing that signature? I could be question mark.
Honestly, I don't. I did not see no signature. You can look at. You can do what I did, and you can see there was no signature on that
Right.
paper.
And that's my whole thing about saying in haste of what somebody's going to see with their eyes and think with their brain. They're seeing with their eyes and they're
Mhm.
trying to think so fast. And you've got all these people outside your door banging on your door saying you're going to crash through your door. And as you quickly look at it, what are
That
you?
was that was
Yeah.
the second time, Barbara.
Yeah.
They put that piece of paper up to the window two separate times.
Yeah.
The very first time, you need to look at the first video. There's two videos on this, Barbara.
Okay.
And Gen T was putting them up in my live stream last night on this.
Yeah.
There's two videos. The very first time they put it up to the window, it was uncovered. The second time, you're watching the second video, by the way. Yes, he did put it up to the window and he had his hand over it.
Tammy Linland, it's News Now Fort Houston.
Okay, Fort Houston. Excuse me.
I keep saying, I think I said Fort Worth too.
Yeah, I did. I
Yeah,
did too. I'm
yeah,
sorry. I apologize. It is
yeah.
News Now Fort Houston. You're
And
right.
and
My
I
bad.
think and I think that I just saw, and I'm just, I don't know. I'm just a big dum dum, really, with a lot of things, especially when it comes to law. I don't know. I mean, seriously, I don't know much, really. I can't even pretend to even think I know a little bit about the law, and I'm just chiming in on some common sense and what I saw. I just saw the one
It,
video. I just saw
it
one
was News
video.
Now Fort Worth.
Was it News Now Fort Worth?
Yes. It was
Okay,
News Now Fort Worth.
they
Blue
keep
Ivy
putting.
corrected.
Okay. Barbara's saying Fort Worth. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm reading what Brian, and I think I could be.
And Barbara also said it. It was News Now
Yeah.
Fort Worth, and Blue Ivy said it's News Now Fort Worth.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
So there we go.
I need to see the first video. I didn't see it.
Yeah, like I said, Gen T put the video links up in my in my live stream last night.
Yeah.
I don't have that info right offhand. I apologize. And even if I did, I'm so dumb when it comes to computers. I'm glad they got an invite button on this thing. That's how I put the dang stream thing in the chat. Okay. If I didn't have that, I'm so dumb when it comes to that type of stuff.
Well,
I copy and paste and that type of stuff. I screw it up almost every time. So, but I
Well,
do know how to look up stuff on the internet.
yeah. Well, you do have a lot of other cool functions there because you paid the subscription.
Yep, I can have up to 9 people in my chat. I
Yeah.
forgot about that. I kept
Yeah.
putting myself in the back last night. I could have 9 people in my
Yeah.
chat.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, things like that.
What did you? Can I ask you what you paid for that? Was that you did a
And
monthly or did you do a year?
$20 for 1 month.
Yeah.
It ain't bad. It ain't
No.
a bad price, for 1
No.
month.
Right. Especially if you use it a lot.
Yeah, and I do. If I don't have it, I'm only subjugated to 20 hours.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
and
it broke my heart watching that.
you went one way, I went the other.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got angry immediately.
Well, yeah.
My anger went to hatred immediately.
Yeah.
Okay. Me being polite today, I don't know how I'm being polite today. I was polite today to him, honestly.
Well, I think the big question is, I don't think the argument is really, I mean, if you're not an attorney, I mean, you can read whatever and interpret it different ways. I think really the question is the signature. I'd say forget about the argument with the writ or the warrant.
Right.
That can be. Yeah, where's the signature?
Because honestly, I did not see a signature when they put that up on the window. So they came there with a blank warrant, probably signed blank writ. Okay. Let's say you could use it as y'all are saying, even though it says in conjunction with. The words in conjunction with there is no misinterpreting that. In conjunction with
but
warrant means it's got to be with the warrant to be effective.
But look at the source that you're getting that from too, Tammy.
Yeah, well, Brian King ain't. I know Brian King ain't a Blue ISIS sympathizer.
Well, I read it as it is a former warrant, but regardless, we're not attorneys. We don't know that. I could be. Are you an attorney? I know that's maybe part of your job, and you may know better than me. But
Brian King's not an attorney.
No, not Brian King. I mean, I could be not Brian King. I meant I could be police. He's police. I know.
Yeah,
I know he's not an attorney. But I'm saying I could be, but no more. Is going to know more than me being in that business. But I think
I agree. But I also know I just watched cops break the law.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I watch the cops break the law every day.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
No.
I'm not trying to be a dick to I could be, but when you start bootlicking, I'm going to call it the way I see it.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's what I think.
Well, he's just going to have
missing very key words in conjunction.
Yeah, but okay. Well, we're going to just go back to the signature then. I don't think it's going to be a big argument on the writ or a warrant, but I think the big thing here, and I could be wrong, I don't know, is there a signature? The big thing too. They said it was a warrant. We have a warrant to come in, and that warrant needs to be signed by a judge. Not after they get the kid, and not the next day.
Yeah, because they're in the county. They weren't inside the city limits, Blue Ivy.
Also, Tammy Lin, I I was concerned because when you gave the Eternal Affairs your email address,
Uh-huh.
I was concerned that he didn't get it right. I was concerned that he had just
Oh,
one Lynn in there.
My Outlook is one Lynn.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good deal then.
Yep. He got it right.
He got it right then. But there was two of us that me and I think Barbara were questioning that. And I know I have your email address, but I couldn't remember either.
Hey, Balance, will you quit typing and get in my stream?
Come
dang it.
on. Come on, A Balance.
Because I didn't even understand what you just typed
Yeah.
there.
You don't
Here.
have to stay. You don't have to stay for hours.
Yeah, you don't have to stay for hours. At least get in here long enough to at least explain what you just said. Please. Come on, A Balance. You can do it. You're a big boy. Come on.
I'm
We
just so
had a good talk. We had a good talk at OG's. We'll have a good talk here, bud.
I'm just so proud of you, Tammy, for taking the bull by the horns with this, and you spend a lot of time your day off on last night and today. I'm very proud of you, man.
No, nice guy, Lou. No.
Did you hear me?
Yep. All right. Good. A Balance is here. Now, what the hell did you just type in my screen, dude? I couldn't understand what you wrote.
Oh, hey Tammy, hi Peachy.
Hi,
I was just listening in the background, and I was just answering Blue Ivy's question. Do either one of y'all know why sheriffs were there and not local cops? Is that normal? And I just answered the sheriff's department carry out court orders in situations like this, and that's a normal thing. Now, obviously,
also, they come to find out they were also not considered in the city limits. That I found out through the police department. Also, they're not considered in the city limits. They are considered in the county.
So you called them, and he sent you out a report, a complaint report, Tammy.
Yes, sir.
You know that there's children involved, so there's a bit of a heightened sensitivity to protecting the identities and information about probably a pending case. So it's not totally his dereliction of duty that he's not going to that's probably a good thing that he's not giving up information, or else
Well, I wasn't asking them to give up information per se.
Oh, okay.
I was wanting him to address his officers' actions.
Help you out in understanding. Okay, I get you.
Yes.
Well, at the end of the day, they're there to do their job. And, I have a hard time believing, I'm not saying it's not possible, but in this situation, I'm going to go back and I'm going to force myself to watch it again for the sake of conversation, because you're really upset, Tammy, and that's not good to see. And I'm not putting that on you or anything, I'm not putting that on you but you want to get to some answers, and I'd like to help you get to those answers type of thing.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
That's all. I was just explaining myself as to why I'm raising my voice up here. That's all.
All right. I thought maybe I was going to walk. I had walked on you. I apologize.
No.
I didn't want you to feel as though I was walking on you, Balance.
Oh, I got enough of that
today. Yeah. My deal is yes, it's upsetting to me, but it's also a passion to me. Okay. I know what I went. Okay. Thank God I was old enough as the child and had been taught survival skills so I could hide for days in the woods, or I would have been stolen from my mom under bullshit lies said by the school. Okay. If I didn't have that ability, I would have been stolen from my mom. Okay. Because I got swats at the school. The principal left a bruise on my ass. Okay, this was back when they could still do corporal punishment.
Yeah,
I was in the corporal punishment days too. I know. I know about it.
And
I got my ass spanked.
And then they tried to say my mom did that, not the principal. Okay, they were coming to. They tried for longer than 6 months, by the way, to steal me from my mother.
And your mother obviously didn't have a very strong support system at the time. if you're out
Oh,
hiding in the bush, or did this just drive her paranoia and you took it upon yourself?
I
Sorry.
took it upon myself. I ran away.
Yeah.
I ran away out in the woods because I wasn't going to
You
give
didn't
the
want to be
cops the
taken away.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Yep.
You want to stay with
Oh,
your mom.
well, that's an instinctual fear in children and parents. you
Yeah.
know?
hmm And I can tell you now, once my mom finally had enough, they came one too many times. They had a writ and said they were coming into the house to take me. My mom drew this is also back in the day when you could do this and get away with it. She pulled a gun on them fucking cops and told her to leave her motherfucking property now. And guess what they did? They turned around, got in their little cars, and left.
Yep.
And then my mom sent me to my grandmother's out of state. So they couldn't get me. Okay. And she turned into the mother bear. She got cops jobs. She almost got the freaking mayor of the town to not be the mayor, almost got his ass impeached, everything over that.
Now, can I ask you a question about this, your particular scenario? Back then, what is your recollection of the scenario? What was going on in your life? Did they take a disliking to you? Did it have something to do with retaliation from a third
The
party?
school didn't like me very much because I was the type of person that I used to go and get true history and try to teach kids true history.
So you're a problem child. You're just hard to deal with and
Yes.
certain things like that.
Because when it came to history, I love history.
Yeah, well, you'd like to argue. You'd like to question and find out the facts on things to the best of your knowledge. Like history is always a funny thing, but we all love it. Yeah.
And I would go and actually even have books, the actual books, and bring them to class and say, and read out of the book. And the teacher says, that's not part of the curriculum. You ain't going to teach that in my class. And snatch a book out of my hand or something. Well, again, that, like I said, how I did with the cop last night, you ain't going to do that to me. I've been that way all my life. You ain't going to do shit like that to me and treat me like a piece of shit. I'm going to go the fuck up on you, and I'm going to go off on you like a space shuttle. And I was that way when I was a little kid, and I had a vocabulary that'd make a sailor blush, even as a kid.
for instance, in those history books, like give me a for instance, you just like to argue facts, but that is taking away from the curriculum. That's not saying that you're wrong, but she has also, the teachers have a bunch of kids in class that they have to teach the same thing, and getting off topic isn't always great.
When they're teaching lies, I couldn't stand by and let.
Yeah, I know. I hear you, because I was the same way back then. What I perceived at the time as lies. This is back before the internet. Well, the information age, of course, it's the same as you, but I was the same way. Now, but to what end? To what end?
When I hit 8th grade, I had a really cool history teacher. Okay. He set up debates to where I could bring my side in and other people could bring their side in. And he had used it as a learning tool. Well, yeah, it was great.
That's what a StreamYards panel is, in a sense, isn't it, Tammy?
Yes, yes, very much so. And I loved that teacher. That teacher was freaking awesome. His name was Mr. Dupre. I'll never forget Mr. Dupre. Now, we started off on a bad foot, but after we got our differences settled there, we were great. He did that. He used it as a learning tool. I loved it.
Yeah, and the teachers also want to. You have to learn along as well. So it's a difficult situation when you're constantly questioning. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but in the sense you still have to pass those tests based on the stuff that they're trying to push on you, despite what your feelings are.
I made straight A's in my history. Where I did fail, and as you can see when I type, my spelling has always sucked all my fucking life. I deal with dyslexia, and I try to get the letters to go right in my head. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Sometimes I mix them up. Sometimes I leave out letters because I'm trying to get this jumbled up dyslexic mess to work right in my head.
Like. Okay, yeah, I know what it's like.
So,
I get it.
I do have problems with spelling. I had problems with my grammar because I never understood when I'm talking, why do I have to worry about a dot or a
I
little
well, that's a
squiggly mark. Or
we
some
type as we
shit.
talk. You know what I mean? And you know,
Hmm.
I get it. Tammy,
Yeah.
it sounds like that is your kind of root from your activism in a sense. You've kind of described where you're coming from a little bit, and that's valuable. You know, you've got in touch with that.
Well, I'll tell you where I actually really started getting into activism was the day I realized history repeats itself if you don't stop it and learn from the mistakes.
History also repeats itself because of human nature.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
that's because they don't learn from their mistakes.
Well, true.
If we could get someone that has learned from the mistake to be heard, or a group of people that has learned from the mistake, or whatever, you see what I'm saying,
Yep.
and get them heard, maybe that mistake might not be repeated, at
Yeah.
least at that given time.
Yeah, we're creatures of habit for sure.
Yes.
And it's
And
something that
and
constantly needs to be, not dare I say, policed, but watched and worked with, because it's not as cut and dry. You just can't walk into a situation, give them a blanket statement, and have everybody believe you or take your side. You have to work on people. You have to influence people and converse with and communicate for with the idea of a greater goal of getting somewhere, not just shutting each other down and talking over somebody. You know what I mean? Getting somewhere. Because Tammy, you know, we have to, you know, in this situation with News Now Fort Worth, I mean, and I'm trying to relate it to that situation. Well, what now? What do you think what people should do at this particular moment?
unfortunately, right now we're at a stalemate until other things can be accomplished.
So the things we need to would like to know, if in a perfect world, would be the circumstances leading up to the moment and the investigation, perhaps, that has been going on for 6 months. But maybe we should treat it with a bit of, you know, dignity. And
In a perfect world, the cop asked me,
if
what
there's a
would I
mistake,
like to
Tammy
have
Linland, just with the exposure that it had on YouTube and everybody watching and all these conversations, the exposure is there. Do you think that anybody is going to let those police officers get away with a mistake in this circumstance at this point? I doubt it.
Oh yeah, they do
You
every day.
Well,
I mean, come on,
no.
Really,
Well,
and truly.
they might let them, but I mean, Tammy, you're not going to let them. Was kind of what I was trying to go for there. Is
I
that
can only do so much.
well? I
really.
know you're not a
My
lawyer and you
hands
can't
are
fight
tied.
for it, but
I can fight and fight and fight, but my hands are tied. Even to an extent, you know, a very big extent. You brought up very crucial parts of it. Uh, I won't be privy to certain aspects of the
can
information,
I ask your opinion on something?
things like that. Hmm.
Now, I noticed yesterday. Do you think, all things aside? Well, it's easy for me to say all things aside, but in your opinion, do you think the mindset of News Now Fort Worth, and you could tell he's in a bit of worked up, paranoid mindset at the time, understandably so. I can't. And did you see the way that he was going after the cops and shooting out the hubris and the dogma at the cops and trying to, protect his family in that sense with a camera in his hand? Now, I don't imagine that just came out of nowhere. Do you think his state of mind influenced that situation at all previous to that, the 19-minute video that we witnessed? Do you think that his mindset brought attention to him, some unwarranted attention perhaps, that might have contributed to the situation?
That ain't what I wanted to show. No, he's not a cop support. A balance.
No, I'm not saying about the
supports
cop, but I mean,
everybody, Barbara.
He tries to
his
keep things in balance.
He supports everybody, and he also don't support everybody. If that makes sense.
He tries
Well,
to see. He
I
tries
support
to
my own
show.
opinion, and I like to
Yeah.
develop my opinion, and it's constantly changing like everybody else's is.
But
Am I a
don't you like
cop
to?
supporter? Like,
But
I mean, that's not a valid question. I think it's just distracting. Barbara.
but
Yeah,
a balance. Don't you?
I just want to.
Yeah, that's how I
You
understand.
know, I told you how the thing I had a problem with you with. I
Oh, yeah.
still don't have that. Ain't much of a problem to have with you. Believe me, I got bigger problems with a lot worse people than you.
Yeah, but
But-
you can always come to me and sort your problem out, because if
Yeah.
I'm legitimately wrong, I'm not so hard nosed where I can't listen to you and totally,
Yeah, we've had
you know
some
what I
pretty good talks just within the last few hours.
am I
think.
wrong? Yeah. Well, I want to hear where I was wrong, and maybe
But
I am.
a balance, don't you try to look at both sides?
Oh well, yeah. I try to interpret it and present it
Yeah.
to the outside world.
I mean, that's
I
that's the-
don't present my material for those in necessarily in the community. I take what I witness and interact with online, interpret that to an audience of people that would otherwise not know anything about it in a sense.
Let me say something that is very stupid of me to say. News now for Houston.
Yeah.
You know, people go. You know, that is not even a city. You know, folks, I
Yeah.
know that. But people do have strange channel names, so I'm just
Yes, they
trying
do.
to. They do have
I
very
mean,
strange.
come on, look at me. I got a female's name.
Yeah, so I'm just taking somebody's initials or abbreviation of that in chat, but News Now, Fort Worth, a balance. But didn't he show his mindset? I know the second video that I watched.
His mindset was that of a great parent, in my opinion. He was willing to protect his family.
But he told his mom to go back upstairs, that he didn't want her to get arrested. He
Right.
was trying to. He made
He was
several comments of trying to get everybody to calm the fuck down.
Yes,
To
he
get
was
it,
trying
Mom.
to
Yeah, diffuse the situation. Yeah, he's really trying to de-escalate, is
Yeah.
what I saw. Now, again, I didn't see the first video, but I saw him trying to de-escalate things. A balance.
No, I agree with you, and I
Yeah.
understand his mindset at the time. But I was trying to think about what Okay, so what am I trying to say here? Now, when the cops came to the door, like in my mind, from a viewer standpoint, it didn't seem to me that situation was very calm, because I was brought to tears. It was shocking. I mean, if he didn't have that fear of police and understood and wanted to confront whatever was coming his way, it would seem to me in a logical mindset that he would have addressed that, being out there with his camera, protecting in front of his, instead of inside filming outwards and trying to barricade himself away. And I mean, it can just be appearances. I'm not trying to draw any.
Well,
I'm not
honestly,
blame on him. I'm just trying to understand.
I'm gonna play a card that the cops like to do. This day and age, you confront cops that are hell bent on doing what they're told to do outside of a
Not at all, Mr.
protected area. You're liable to get shot. Like I said, things have changed from the day when my mom pulled a gun on the cops.
Let me just, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Tammy Linlin, just to acknowledge Mr. Razor-Haras. Your question is a great question, but I would take up the entire time explaining that. No, I am not. I am for kids staying with their families in almost all circumstances.
Absolutely.
However, but there are circumstances in which the kids are better off without, and I don't even want to talk about those. I'm just trying to make where I'm coming from a little bit easier to take.
Can I chime in something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I heard, I don't know if it was you, A Balance, or someone saying that it might have been better off without the camera. And I think A Balance, maybe you're coming at it in a mindset of him being an activist and him being kind of heightened, his senses already heightened to begin with.
Yeah.
And that, yeah, I can see that. But at the same time, I can see if he wasn't an activist and he wasn't used to picking up the camera and recording the cops, that to me, this is going to be a big asset for them recording and having that. And hold on,
absolutely, it will. Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be a big asset to them recording, and who knows what the cops would have done if they would not have been recording that scenario. That's
a valid point, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. I'm not trying to take any away from the situation or telling you it's something it's not. It's a horrendous situation. You know, we're it's difficult because we're tackling a few different conundrums at the same time.
Yeah.
But I understand. Yeah. Like he can get himself up into a tizzy real quick when you're perceiving the world, when you're watching nothing but the shit or nothing but good.
Yep.
Your bias is tainted a little bit, and I'm not
Well,
blaming
well,
anybody,
also,
but he can
I'm gonna-
work himself up into a tizzy where the world can seem like we're in a police state. The police are against us. Police brutality. It's a reoccurring problem. It's easy to perceive the world in that manner. I'm trying to say.
Well,
But
but also, I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm going to redirect the question back at you. But but put yourself in his shoes. What has he gone through already?
Exactly.
Dealing
Yeah.
with
that's what
the
he's talking
cops.
about.
That's what I'm trying to understand.
That's what he's
and,
trying to. Yeah.
Right.
and I'm trying to
Right.
identify those variables, but it's very difficult because, of course, we're going on what we see and trying to reverse engineer a video sometimes. But we have to we like it or not. There's a lot of things that we have to take into consideration because they are fact. We never usually like facts, but if I understand this is so my point to this. If he is taking if he perceives the police to be his enemy in this situation over a 6-month period of them trying to talk to him and trying to, understand what's going on in the situation, in their mind, if he's constantly trying to avoid them and fight them legally, he does probably have something to hide. And what is that? They have to keep, pressing to find out what that is. That's just the nature of the beast.
Well,
I mean,
hey, Balance, can I say something?
please.
I think a big question too is what if he did not open the door? Okay. Where is he then? I think because of his paradigm shift, for lack of a better word, trying to think of another word for his what he's been through, Tammy Lynn Lynn. Not saying you don't know what paradigm shift is, but because of what he has been through, that is why he opened the door.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
see, because he knows what they're capable of. He knows that the cops can be liars and murderers and extortionists.
I agree that his fear is probably
His
warranted to
fear,
an extent.
absolutely, his fear of what he's already been through allowed him to open the door to protect his family. He was afraid what was going to happen, not just the money wise fixing the damn door. I think the fear that he was protecting his family by opening the door. What
Yes.
if he had not had opened the door? What would they had done then?
Well, according to them, they were going to break the door down and storm in the house.
Yeah,
Well, we know what happens when cops storm in a house. A lot of times they're pulling guns.
exactly. So we can say
Accidents happen.
right. So hold that thought. So everybody's saying, "Oh my God, I never would open the door." Well, you don't. It's like people saying, "What if they would do if they got cancer?"
Right.
Well, until that moment, you don't know what you're going to do until that moment. Until you're in that moment with your family behind you and a baby and your family in your house. At that moment, you don't know what you're really going to do. I mean,
Right.
I'm sorry, you don't.
And every situation, we also perceive every situation in a different way.
Yeah. You
One
never say
day,
never. You never, and I can say this too. Never open the door. Never open your, whatever.
You're home to anybody, any strangers.
Yeah, for any strangers. But it's hard. I try never to say never because you just really can't because you don't. Depending on the scenario, you just
and I'll tell you, I'm looking at an even bigger picture, okay? Because my bigger picture ain't just them, okay? I seen 2 separate incidences. One where they didn't snatch the children in Colorado, and then the very next day they snatched the child. But they tried to snatch the children in Colorado. Okay. So you see, now I'm seeing this 2 separate incidents in less than a 24-hour period where the cops are trying to do this. Okay. And harass these people to do it. Okay. That's sort of scary to me. I know what happened back in the 80s. Okay. with the Native Americans. Okay. There was bloodshed on both sides. Okay. And eventually it happened. Okay. On both sides. It went as far as also down in Florida. They had just opened up a place called the Gator Alley, which is a turnpike down there. And they even said, you can't use your turnpike. It goes across our land. And they put tanks on that turnpike. The Seminoles have tanks, by the way, and put them right on the turnpike. It said, you ain't using it no more. Okay. That's how serious this got.
Oh,
I
natives
don't
up
want
here
to
always
see that
block off
happen
railroad
again.
tracks.
Huh?
I said the natives up here always are blocking off railroad tracks to disrupt transport too.
There you go. There you go. See, I don't want to see that happening. I don't want to see bloodshed. Okay. That's why I'm also trying to bring this to people's attention.
And I
Because
admire you. I admire you for that, Tammy Langland.
it's a war that I honestly do not want to see.
Well,
Okay.
you know, I'm going to ask the question again. If News Now Fort Worth would have called the police's bluff, okay, meaning that he was not going to open the door,
Mhm.
would they, you know, call in their bluff? All right, motherfuckers, I'm not going to open the door. No way. Nope, nope, nope. Not going to do it. You're showing me something through the window that I can't really see. I don't know what it is. You're saying it's a warrant, but you lie every day. I'm not opening the door. And he's going to call their bluff. That's a chance. That's a big chance for him to take for his family.
And let's say they thought they had the right to come in that house
Exactly.
like
Yep.
they did. Okay. The if they did break the door down, 9 times out of 10, they're coming in with their guns.
Yep.
Okay. We've seen it 100 million times. They break down a door, they're coming with guns drawn. Okay. Accidental or not, guns have been known to go off. Okay. Stupid things happen.
Let me ask something too. The person that she got away from, was that the father of the child?
I believe so.
But no,
I believe
but
so.
yeah, okay. All right. So the most important thing really is people say, no, I never would open the door. Well, first of all, that wasn't the father of the child. That was the uncle.
Mhm.
I'm
Right.
assuming that was the
Yeah.
uncle of the child.
Yes. The New South Fort Worth is the uncle. Yes.
Yeah. Well, you know, this is just my opinion. I'm a dum-dum. I don't know anything and I don't have children. But just looking at it, I felt like he did the right thing by letting them in. That's just my opinion. A lot of people say no,
Damn it.
but I think that he did the. I think I always try to put myself in the situation. What would I have done in that situation? Because I feel like we never. I never
I
think that I'm going to
agree
be
with
put
that.
in certain situations. But then here I am in a situation. You know, I never thought I'd be in a situation to go to jail, but they arrested me and I went. So I really, in these conundrums, as we say, I really like to think about what I would have done, and I think I would have, if I were him, I think I would have been in fear so much of my family. I would open that door as well.
Yeah.
And that's that's the damn problem though, is that we're living in fear.
Right. And that is a big problem.
That's a huge problem.
We should not fear the people that are supposed to quote unquote serve and protect us.
And look what happened. Even when they opened the door, look how they acted. All right,
Yep.
motherfuckers, I'm opening the door. So come in and act, you know, act in a professional manner and have a
No,
conversation.
they opened the door and said
Yeah.
you're not welcome to cross the
Yeah,
threshold.
and they
You're
came
not
on.
welcome
They
in
came
my
in
house.
anyway, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, regardless, they came in,
Yeah.
and he opened. Regardless, he opened the door.
Yep.
And they felt like that gave them the authority to walk in, and they did. And regardless of what he said, they're not welcome. Regardless, they walked in. They weren't professional in my eyes, walking in with the transfer. Obviously, the transfer of that baby. I think all that could be handled. I mean, no wonder we don't want to open the damn doors.
Mhm.
You know, it was a bad situation with him opening the door. What if he didn't open the door? What if they were going to barge in? You know, they didn't act professional. And in my eyes, in what I heard in my eyes, they didn't act professional walking in to that house to take that baby.
I agree.
I think they could have been a conversation. They could have calmed the mom down. They could have gotten everyone seated somehow, some way. I don't know. Maybe I'm living in La La Land, but I
Well,
feel like they could have been more professional than what they did. And
I didn't see them de-escalating either,
no, absolutely
and they're
not.
supposed to
The
de-escalate.
the uncle, well, hell no. I mean, I was trying to tell the cop the rest of me to de-escalate, and she was only escalating. And I sat down trying to calm her down, and all she did was escalate. The females are the worst, in my opinion. Are the worst,
Yeah,
and
because they got a hard on to prove something about themselves.
for
Because
whatever reason, for what,
well,
yeah,
they are
yeah,
they are in a profession that is predominantly
yeah,
male.
man, that's true.
So they got a hard on to prove themselves that they can do a male's job.
Now, I've only seen the video once, and you had mentioned about the lady cop pushing the mom down.
Yeah.
I can't say either or what happened to me. It seemed like she kind of went down on her butt for them trying not to take the baby. But that's only me watching it just one time. And if you get 10 people, this is the crazy thing. This is why we never want to put ourselves in a situation to have a felony or to go to court with a jury of our peers deciding our fate, because you get 10 people watching, 20 people, 30 people watching a video one time,
Mhm.
and see how many people can agree on what they saw. I mean, this has been proven. The
Yeah.
eyewitnesses are horrible.
Now,
Of
my question is
they
this:
don't get it right even half the time. I mean, it's a very low percentage of eyewitnesses getting it right of what they saw and who they saw and what exactly happened. And
well,
so as
let
I'm
me
seeing
let
it,
me let me add something.
maybe you saw something that I
No,
that I
no,
saw differently the first time.
I'll give you that.
But I only
Okay,
watched it once.
hold on,
I only
hold
watched
on,
it one time.
hold on. I'm gonna let's say that's what she did. Why
Yeah.
did the male cop have to jump on her with the baby in the hand?
Oh yeah. No, I do not agree
See,
with, just like I said earlier, I don't
see,
agree with
even
the
if
way
she
that they
did
handled
fall
it.
away,
Yeah.
even if she did, I
Tammy,
will take that into consideration. It may
Yeah.
have looked like she was falling away.
Yeah.
Why did the male cop jump on her
Because
then?
it's muscle memory to him. It's fucking muscle memory to them, because that's what they do and that's what they do best. They impose fear and hurt, and they get you while you're down. And that's while she was they want you on the ground, and while they got you while you're on the ground, they're gonna put their fucking knee in your back or whatever.
Peachy,
So
can I interject here for one
sure.
moment? Tammy
Yeah.
Lin, can I send you a picture? I'm looking at something on Discord right now, and it seems to be the signature of Judge Menendez. This is the document that they said they didn't sign, Tammy. I'd like to send you the picture of the screenshot on your email, just to tell me what you have to.
You can send it at newsnowtammylynlyn at gmail.com or newsnowtammylyn
Is that
at outlook.com.
so? Is it two N's in Lynn?
Yes.
Yeah, it's two ends in both. If you send it to my Gmail, it's two Lynn's with two N's and a Y. It's LYNN.
That's right.
At
Two,
gmail.com. Okay.
yeah. Tammy, TAMMYLYNNLYNN.
Just news now, Tammy Lynn at gmail.com.
No,
No.
Tammy Lynn
Lynn News
at
right.
gmail.com, or if you want to send it to my Outlook, it's News Now Tammy Lynn
Okay.
at outlook.com.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
do Gmail and do the two Lynn's. Yeah.
I'm gonna do Gmail, that way you know where it's coming from.
Yeah, news now, Tammy Lynn at gmail.com. I'm sorry. You can handle your own email address, Tammy.
No problem. I'm gonna save this right now and I'm gonna send it as we're speaking. So just give me a moment.
You know, it's very difficult for you know, it's really a good thing that they filmed this. And I don't know about that damn signature. All I saw was a cop had his thumb over it, and I only saw one video.
Okay, for the sake of conversation, what's your Gmail, Peachy, and I'll CC you on it.
Okay. Mine is all American woman 247@gmail.com. All American woman 247@gmail.com.
247?
247. Yeah, 247@gmail.com. And woman, not one, women, woman, singular.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. All American woman 247@gmail.com.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
I'm
it.
going to send this and I'm going to mute out. My daughter's in the bath and I'll be right back. Tell me what you think. It was passed to me on Discord and this is circled. You'll see the signature. And I'm just let me know what you think, okay?
All right.
It's gone. Okay, so it said address. It said address new. Your message wasn't delivered to. So it's Peachy's got it. So news now, Tammy Lynn, LYNN @gmail.com because the address couldn't be found.
Well, maybe I'm getting them mixed up. Try news now, Tammy Lynn.
Okay.
Maybe I'm getting them mixed up.
I'll try it. So it went through to Peachy. News now, Tammy Lynn @gmail.com. Whoops. Okay.
Now,
Sending.
Tammy, I'm going to try to minimize, but it may boot me. If it boots me, I will come back. But I'm going to try to minimize and open up my.
Sorry, guys. You got it from my other email account. So
internet.
Andre Renee. Andre.
I got it.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Oh, that's from Andre. That's me. I just realized it was in my other Gmail account.
Okay. To me, it's so blurry I can't see nothing. That's my problem, right there.
Let me take a look at it. I may have to come
It
back.
was
Tammy.
much clearer on the video.
Okay. Well, that was what was that's Judge Menendez's signature on it apparently. And
I
just
don't see it. All I see is a blur even when I open it up. Let me try my other phone. Maybe it's a better phone.
Yes, the screenshot, there is some distortion on it because it's a screenshot, but you can see a signature.
I'm trying to give
with a seal on it.
benefit
There's a star with a star with a blue circle around it and signature of endorsement, I believe. The stamp.
Oh my God. Until I ain't looked at my damn phone in a while. Not this one. And enough freaking stuff to freaking clog to choke a horse on it. Yeah, she'll be right back. There we go. All right, there we go. I don't want to try to do it on the computer for the simple fact, if I do, I'm liable to lose string, and I don't want to lose string. I see a star, but I see no signature. I do see a star of some kind. I can't say that. Okay.
Okay, well, it was just mentioned to me anyway, Tammy. That's the blue seal endorsement, and I can't verify what that blue star means, but it's a place to start. Maybe we can verify it somewhere else or cross reference it. I'll be right back.
Well, even if it's just the star, that don't mean shit. Okay, it's got to have the.
Well, it's not just a blue star. I
name.
believe it's a signature plus it's an endorsement stamp or seal to verify it. Is my
Well,
understanding. But I'll find out
I-
and stuff. Hold on.
My problem is I cannot see, even with both my phones, I cannot see the name. I would probably have
Yeah,
to
it
do
might
this
be
on my
difficult to
computer.
see on mobile. If
Yeah,
you
I got a
zoom-
high definition computer. It would show it up probably really good, like it did when I did the thing. Um, but I can put it. They can put a. It's like okay, I could go take and get a state seal to make a document have a state seal and never put a put a put a signature to whatever I got the state seal on. That don't mean it's a binding document. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. I need to see that signature. Jen said, please send it to her email if you don't mind. And she will look at it on her high definition computer.
Can you, Tammy? Can you forward that
I
to Jen?
You're asking me to do this on my phone.
Now,
Yeah, let's see. I will try. Guaranteed, I will try.
because I think 8Balance is taking care of his daughter.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, now,
You know, so if we move past the signature thing, then it gets into the nitty gritty of why they were exactly there, and was it lawful for them to take the child to begin with. If we get past the entry of it, then we've only done one step.
yeah.
You know, if it's sealed and it's signed and they had lawful entry and they came in and they took the baby, and that's going to be a whole nother conversation that we're not even privy to.
Well, that's when it gets into the wording in conjunction with.
Well, uh, well, let's just say that that legally they were allowed to come in. Okay, let's just get past that part. Even if they were legally allowed to come in, does not mean that they're legally allowed to take a child.
Sorry. I know I didn't mean to, and I screwed up.
That's okay.
Come on, dot com. Why are you going CIM? COM phone? Quit messing with me.
I can
There you
try
go.
to send it to her if you want me to. She put
I
her.
think I just sent it.
Did you?
I think I
Okay.
got it sent. Yes.
Good job.
Yeah.
But you see what I'm saying? If regardless of, you know, the bigger picture is, was it lawful for them to take the damn child?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the information we're not privy on the details of, you know, exactly why they were there. But my
Well,
God,
I don't understand if she removed the child from the dangerous situation that they were
yeah,
supposedly coming to take the child from.
yeah.
Uh, how can they even use that as a premise?
Yeah.
You know.
Well, especially if they have other family members there to help with the child. You
Oh
know,
well.
they,
Look
you
at
know,
this shit. A Balance brought this up on my screen. That's fucking cool.
there you go.
Hey, I didn't know you could do that. A Balance. That's fucking
Yeah.
cool as hell. But can I? Is there a way for me to expand?
Yeah, you can make
this
it bigger.
now? Yes, please.
Oh no.
expand this.
Yeah, I think A Balance has to do that.
Yeah, it's on his.
Yeah.
Did you get that?
Well, I guess the question would: can you read an A Balance?
I can't. I cannot. All I see is a blurry.
Yeah.
and nothing to it.
Yeah. So here's the scenario around it. Sort of interrupt. That was brought. That was from obviously from the video. Yeah, I can't. No matter how hard I bring it up, it is distorted a little bit. But there is something on that line. There's a blue stamp, and it was shared to me by I Could Be. Now I'll go back on it, and you can analyze it for a few minutes. I'll come back off, and then I'll read up. But it was given to me by I Could Be, who you're all blaming to be he's a sheriff's deputy. But if he verified that, take it as it is, then we can dispute that in a second.
Yeah. Well, regardless of the lawful or unlawful entry, it comes down to the nitty gritty of, did they lawfully have grounds to take the child? We're just not. We saw what we saw on the video, and that was it. That's all.
I'm just doing this more for the sake of Barbara Downey in the audience, and just so that the people see. I do see there's a blue signature here. Let's give a shit about what that is for a second.
Yeah.
Back behind there, I do see a signature behind in there. I do see a signature here, and I see a signature here. So
okay.
I do see penmanship, as in like somebody was a freehand signature. Right there.
What I see now, if you want to know my take on it, I see put your name here, put this name here. I
can't really verify any of that. Obviously you can't even read it. You can just see there's wording on a paper.
Okay, right. Can I say something?
See that, and that's how I look at it. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm trying
if I were somebody opening the door and they put that up to me, I would have been looking in the bottom left-hand corner. And that's coming from somebody that's done a lot of paperwork in real estate and special ed paperwork, IEPs. You know all about IEPs, A-Balance, if you guys have IEPs in Canada. But I see, if he would not have circled that in yellow, I would have been looking at the bottom left-hand corner signature and a stamp down there, not up top, regardless of the blue mark or the blue watermark, whatever that is. Can y'all hear me, Tammy and Lindland?
Yes, I hear you. I'm reading this.
Okay.
Yes, it is a public document, Albert. It is a public. By the way, we can't get it through a FOIA.
Where would you had been looking, Tammy, if they would have flashed that up at the window at you? Here they're flashing up something very quickly. I don't know. I don't know where your eyes would have been looking, but just for those few seconds.
I would have told him, you need to hold it up there longer so I can look over the whole document.
Yeah.
Before I open the door. Honestly.
Yeah.
Because I do.
But that's afterthought.
I do know. Yeah. I do know from me signing as many documents as I have in my lifetime, for whatever the reason, I know signatures can be anywhere on a freaking paper. Literally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Left hand, right hand.
I'm saying bottom. I'm saying bottom left hand corner. But it's the bottom. I would have been looking at it's just looking at the paper. It's the bottom left hand corner. As I look at it, I'm looking at that signature, not at the very top.
Right.
The opposite of where his hand is. That but like I said, what the fuck do I know? Not. I have a lot of common sense, but with knowledge in the law, it's unfortunately there's not a lot of common sense when it comes to the law, in my opinion.
I agree.
But it just goes back to show you, and I don't know, Tammy Lindland, what you blew up. Did you blow up the top part of that or the bottom? I mean,
see, that's about what I got right there, and I don't see nothing there myself personally, and that's about what I got was that right there. So honestly, I will tell you the truth. That's what I got. Now I don't see it.
Yeah.
Where they circled it, and even down at the bottom. See, a lot of times with government documents, that's just a machine done signature. I look for the actual signature of the person.
Well,
Okay,
with that
which by
important kind
law,
of
by the law, that's what they're supposed to have.
yeah, it's got to be manually handwritten in. It can't be done by a stamp signature.
I don't know why it said it's sent to you.
Tell her
Oh, there's your phone.
Tammy Lin was that the first video or the second video that he's holding that up?
That should be in the first.
Second.
Oh, that is in the second? I thought that was in the first one.
That's the second.
I thought it was first. My bad.
Well, you know what I would say if I were that supervisor's cop, I would say if you're going to hold it up, I wouldn't hold it up like that. I wouldn't put my fingers over anything. If you're going to hold it up, you know what I'm saying? If you're going to hold it up, hold it at the, you know, but, you know, it's still, we're not talking about the overall, you know, I don't know. But wait, why does everything always take a lawyer when the Constitution was drafted in terms of declared ends to make the law for all people, not just lawyers? Yeah, that's right, Mr.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I'm just against.
I mean, Mr. Rasser is on point as far as the Constitution goes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I've seen families a lot worse. I mean, just by what I've seen on video of kids in such. It's like they take kids that don't need to be taken and leave kids that need to be left. Or wait, did I say just the opposite? I don't know. I'm confused now myself.
Okay.
They take kids that shouldn't be taken, and they don't take kids that need to be taken.
All right. Now, here's the deal, as explained, and I will be looking this up also.
Yeah.
She got it up here, up there at that top where it's circled, is where their name is supposed to be. The complaint, the person they're going after. Down at the bottom, at the right hand, is supposed to be where the judge's name is supposed to be. Okay. So I'll be looking this up here shortly. That's what I was explaining. I'll be looking this up.
Where
as we're talking.
Where should the signature be?
Right where his hand is. Right
Yeah,
now
that's
it's
what I'm
underneath.
saying. That's what I'm saying. That it depends on who's looking at it. Where the heck are you supposed to even look for a damn signature?
Well, that's what I'm getting ready to look
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean, where it's circled down at the bottom left hand corner, the right hand corner. Now, when he first flashed it, I would say where his hand is. I said where his hand is because I said you can't see his signature because his hand is over it. But it's just like taking 10 people looking at that video, and you're going to get 10 different opinions on that video. Possibly, or 8 different opinions. You might get a couple that agree, or maybe 3, maybe 30% might agree. And showing the video in real time. I mean, not slowing it down or pausing it, but showing the video in real time, and you get 10 people's reaction from it. And the same thing, him throwing that up. Where the heck are you supposed to look? Where you know, I see many signatures, possibly signatures.
All right,
now that's where I would be looking, in that corner.
All right, now
that's where I would be looking. A balance.
This is an arrest warrant.
No,
Well,
sorry for just chiming in here, Tammy Lynn. I was in the background listening in. Here, let me pop this back up. Now, I am on this one's a 57-inch plasma TV, high def. Maybe I can interpret a little better than you looking
There you
at
go.
a 3-inch screen. I don't know, but so let me pull this back up again, okay? Now, just for the record, this is me saying it. I'm not verifying that this is, so there's lines down here. Can you see my cursor?
Yep.
There's one. It's distorted. There's
Yep.
2 places for 2 signatures.
Yep.
There's a signature right here and a signature right there.
And aren't there dates
That
there
is-
as well?
well, I guess I can't really.
Aren't there
From my
dates?
vantage point, it is blue ink,
Yeah.
and there's another signature up here, and I can see it. Just despite what all this means, or despite what it means, I am just verifying that
There's
I
the-
see signatures. That's all.
Okay. What about on the bottom right-hand corner that his hand could be covering up?
Right there, like there's a. I don't see anything. I'll just mark it up right now. I don't see anything. There's a line, it seems to me, right there.
Yeah.
There's a solid line. I don't know what that is. That's type,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure if there's actually supposed to be a signature in there. If there is, I can't see it, but it is distorted.
Yeah.
And up here, there's something right in there. There's something, and that's blue ink signature behind there, signature here, signature
Yep.
here. So to me, that those are signatures.
Yep.
I mean, despite what they are,
Yeah.
or what they mean.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem though. If I were looking at that, if I were looking at that, I would have been looking down at the bottom left-hand corner, where you have it in red at the bottom, and not where it should have been. What if I'd been looking at those signatures and not where it should have been on the top? I just, him flashing it up. First of all, get your damn hand out of the fucking way if you're gonna flash something up. Don't put your hand over something where it could be perceived as you're hiding something. First
All
of
right.
all, that's a
All
rookie
right.
mistake, in my
All
opinion.
right,
That's a
now-
rookie mistake.
Now, Jen did bring up something here, and I'm looking at an actual document.
Warrant or
the,
writ.
the writ, okay, from Tarrant County. Okay, I'm looking at this undistorted through a window. Okay,
But we,
unsigned document. Okay. Oh, up at top is the person they're serving it to. Okay, that is the name of the person that they want to give this to. Okay. Down at the left is, and it shows it, a signed by a machine judge. Okay, a signed signature by a machine. Okay, it's copied by a machine. And that's the bottom left. On the bottom right, where his hand's covering, is where the actual signature of the judge or presiding officer is supposed to put his name.
that is if what you're looking at and is the same as what's on the window.
Yes, it looks like the same document. Yes.
Yeah, I just, with that cop doing that, what the hell? Move your damn hand out of the way. Hold it up without any question about whether he's trying to cover up something.
That's golden. That's golden.
I mean, to me, that's just being sneaky. That can put doubt in someone's mind. That can change the whole outcome of the scenario. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Move your fucking hand. Okay. What if I were triggered and I said, "Oh no," and I'm in a very high paranoia state, right?
Mhm.
And they've got his hand over there, and that could have changed the whole outcome of it. Well, he's covering it up, but he won't show it to me again. No, you're not coming in, motherfucker, because you're covering up the signature. But that might be petty, but it's really not.
And here is
That could
warrant
be
of
life or
arrest.
death. That could be life or death.
Actually, they got two different things: the writ and the warrant. Okay. And the warrant is set up differently. The warrant of arrest and then the date to any place officer of the state of Texas agrees. You are hereby commanded to arrest, and then the name goes there, and the name goes there. Then it goes on to say then right under that would be the name of the person being arrested, a description of that person, their date of birth, their height, and how much they weigh. Then after that, if to be found in county, and bring him before me, a district of Dallas County, Texas, at my office at 133, so on and so forth. So they put the address of the court there. Then it goes on right after that to say what the charges are, which if he's accused by written complaint under oath or affirmative, then it would give the officer's name again that filed it before the judge. Here to fail not, but of the warrant showing how you have executed the same. And then it says witness of official signature, the date of the day, and then the month, and then the year, and then signed by a witness, the printed signature of the judge, and then the judge, the signature, the cursive signature of the judge. That's how that is set up, and that goes the from the top. It'd be the right hand side, all down to the right hand side until you get to the middle. Okay. Then it starts going to the middle of the document where the court address and the what's being filed against them as charges. Then the witness of my official signature, it says witness of my official signature, and then the day, except and the month is on the right hand side also. Then the year would be on the left hand side, and then you got the witness's signature on the left hand side, witness's signature on the left hand side, and then the judge's, or excuse me, I take that back. The witness's signature on the left hand side, the judge's printed signature on the left hand side, and then the judge's signature on the left hand side is how that document's set up. So,
Well, we would have to be crazy, and the parents would have to be crazy not to question the government. I mean, they do it all the time, coming in with fucking fake warrants and no signatures and just crap that they think they can get away with. So are we paranoid people here thinking that there's no signature? No, we're not paranoid people thinking that there's no signature, because when it comes to the government and them doing shady shit, then a lot of times what we're thinking, yeah, there's probably no signature there. You know, I don't know, but being, if I were family members or the mom, I mean, of course, you know, that's the, you know, hopefully she's going to be able to have an attorney through all this if that's what she needs to get to the bottom of it. But that's where you're first going to start is, were they legally allowed inside the house? Did they have the proper paperwork to come inside? And then that's when they decide if yay or nay. Then that's where the nitty gritty comes in about the details that we don't know about the child. And I did not see them. That's another thing that concerned me, Tammy Lynn. It is like the UN reps arguing about the 5-word combination and the nuances in translation in 5 languages while 4 nations. Yeah. That's another thing that bothered me. I never saw them hand over papers.
Actually, they had stated that she had called the police department and told them they were leaving the bad situation to go to a proper situation.
Yeah.
From what I am understanding.
Okay.
They had-
So they were let's say they were on their way to get the baby, and then they said, no, we're leaving. You don't have to do that. We're leaving. Is that what happened?
No. They had called the police to let them know before they came with this
they?
the sister of News Now Fort Worth.
Okay. The mom of the child.
Right, the mom of the child. Said I believe she had said that they had called the cops and told them they were leaving the bad situation.
Why would they have done that? What was their motive to call?
Because they knew that there was a thing going on and that they needed to leave the bad situation. Okay.
Well, they
And
knew that they were
already
going
knew
to
that.
come. They knew that they were going to come get the baby.
If they hadn't left the bad situation.
Well, that's what I just said. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
So they left the bad situation, and they still came and said that they're taking the baby after they already let them know that they had left and got away from a bad situation.
Well, I guess the biggest question now is what has transpired today, and I think that they told the mom that they would call her that in the morning. And I don't know if anybody has any updates in the chat. You guys hit that thumbs up if you haven't, please, and thank you. And maybe Peachy, with the cops owning the license to lie to people, they can trick their way into someone's house and then claim they had. Absolutely, mister. Absolutely.
I agree.
That's
I agree
exactly
with that.
why we're questioning. Absolutely. They do it
And
all the
that-
freaking time. They have permission to lie by Supreme Court. Not necessarily with the warrants or writs, but with other things of
MD has an interesting point too, Peachy.
Yeah, go ahead.
You also do not know the history. I have a sense she was not living with News Now Fort Worth until the cops were looking for her. That's why he said someone snitched on them and told where she was.
Yeah.
But she also may have a history going back several times before. She also may have been told if you go back, you may lose your child. So there's some interesting insight. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But MD seems to know about the circumstances, and that's very interesting points. Contribution.
Well, I ain't gonna say they know. They're asking the question. She said,
yeah, she may have been told.
Also,
well,
may have had.
Yeah.
Also, may have had. It's a question, not saying that she did have.
We're not
I'm
privy
sure
to.
that there's more than one contributing factor. I would have
but that is a good question. It's something that maybe needs to be found out.
Well,
but it shouldn't matter if she left the situation. She left the situation. It shouldn't matter.
Well, there can be 1,000 different details that we are not privy to, and that the biggest thing is, do we have a flawed system of the CPS, or what do they call it in Texas?
Sorry, that was not what I wanted.
Always, they have major problems. In every place they go. And the problem is that really bothers me, Peachy, about Child Protective Services or Children's Aid, is the fact that they have all these people the problem is that the frontline workers, nobody wants that job. So they come uneducated. They're young. They're just trying to break in. They're
low paid.
Psych degree or something, not even maybe a diploma, but they're under the direction of a bunch of people sitting around the table with a master's degree that's able to sign off on people beneath them. So there's so much that can be lost in translation. There's so many variables in the situation, and how people react in a conversation, how things can go bad. So, I'm not an apologist for CAS or Children's or CPS by any means. Like there's a problem right there. It's an establishment, and it has to be constantly held under check. and they have plenty of people, watching them. So it's something that's an ongoing problem, Tammy.
See, this question right here, I have to agree with. Why is it that the government is even sticking their nose into people's personal business?
Well,
Because somebody has to. Because
Yeah.
somebody has to. We
That's
have to
right.
leave it up to
No
the
one has
government
to put
to
their nose in my
standardize
business.
the rules
If I
in which
could
we
get-
live, the fabric of
If I
society.
could, hey, Balance, if I could tell you to get the fuck out of my business, I should be able to tell the government to get the fuck out of my business.
I agree, but I don't think that you're looking at it with like, what else are we supposed to do? What happens if we have, geez, you're trying, we're all sitting around trying to protect the children. Well, what's the best way to do that?
Right.
That's right. You've got to have
The
some.
best way
That's
to
how
do
our
that
that's
is
how
not
our
to have
society
a
is set up, Tammy Lynn Lynn. I mean, that
The best way
unfortunately,
to protect our children is not to have a government entity that has absolute supreme power
but that's
as
what we
to
have.
say we
That's
can
what
do what
that's
the
what we're
fuck
stuck
we
with.
want to do and steal your children.
But that's what we're stuck with.
That's
mean-
not the function.
See,
not
that's
their
the
function.
problem.
It's
We're-
not the function. So
Why
it's
are we
call them
fighting
that,
to get
Tammy.
rid of what we're stuck with? You
I think
see
a lot
what
of people are. I've heard, Dr. Phil and his wife. I think that they work a lot in this area, if I'm not mistaken.
Dr. Phil, to an extent, does.
Yeah,
He has
Well-
helped take children away too from family.
yeah. Well,
So, and in my opinion, on a couple of them, I think he did a wrong thing.
so
There was a couple I agree.
This is where we
maybe.
could use the reference throwing the baby out with the
Yeah.
bathwater, I think, Tammy.
Yeah.
When it comes to talking about child protective services, like, what's the alternative?
yeah.
What's the
We have to
alternative?
protect our children.
What's the alternative? The alternative is be
You're
a
gonna
good
ask every
fucking
parent to not do drugs, to not fucking, leave their kids home alone, to be irresponsible.
Why are we training if the ability to parent your kid has been lost? Why are we not having training to reteach these parents
We
who
are.
have kids? Why don't we have more? Why
We
don't
do-
we have more?
well,
That's what
well,
I'm
that's-
saying. Why
you
don't
know,
we
it-
have more?
The
You
money.
can't force somebody to learn. You
Yeah.
can't force somebody to grow. They have to want to. I mean, you
Right.
can't instill these values on people. You can't, you can
Well,
lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink.
it goes back to teaching. It goes back to teaching our children. Goes back to how we're educating our children. It goes back to what are we teaching our children in school? Then they started coming out with these realistic baby dolls in high school, where I think in home ec or maybe help class or other classes or science class, that they would give these realistic baby dolls to the teens. But is it enough? But and also look at these caseworkers. Look at their caseload of the CPS workers. Their caseload, and I'm not making excuses for them, but I've heard that their caseloads are ridiculously large. How can anybody do that
Mr.
kind of
Razzler, shut the fuck up in chat, by the way.
do that kind of?
Who is this guy talking to in chat?
Who is it?
Mr. Razor Harass, he's got good
I don't
points, but who the hell is he talking to? Now I'm answering my own questions. I'm contributing to a conversation, Mr. Razor
Yeah.
Harass.
Yeah,
Like, take it easy in there.
yeah.
Uh,
Well, that's the whole thing about a debate and conversation, is that we all have different opinions and views, and we be respectful to each other's opinions and
Well, I can
views,
tell you
and
what,
try to see both sides.
news
try to-
now across America. I'll tell you what happened when I was growing up, and I wouldn't mind seeing it happen again. I watched a man. He abused his child. He abused his wife, and he went and drank his freaking rent money up at the bar. Do you know what happened?
Can we figure out what
15
Mr.
people-
Razor Harass is talking about after we're done here? Like, if he's talking to me, I'm sorry, Mr. Razor Harass. Come up to Discord and have a talk with me or something, because I'm seeing my name pop up like you're giving me shots, but I'm not understanding where it is you're going with that. Are you reacting to what I just said? It's just confusing when you're using my daughter's name in a sentence on a YouTube live stream. Can my daughter be imposed or forced? Like, come on. What do you mean with that? But I mean, I'm more than happy to answer any question that Mr. Razor Harass wants to discuss, because he did have some good points. I'm just fucking confused as shit as to why it seems that he's attacking me here.
Right. But now I'm going to get back to what I saw when I was a kid, and I wouldn't mind seeing this. Take the cops out of the equation altogether. Let the community.
So I'm
handle
not accusing you of attacking Razorhouse. I'm just curious. Hold on. I'll figure out what he's talking about, Tammy.
Okay. Okay. They should allow the community to handle it, just like they did when I was a kid. I watched that guy who beat his children, beat his wife, and drank up all their freaking rent money in a bar. Okay. He was a piece of shit husband. I'm telling you that now. They went into his house, about anywhere between 10 to 15 people, give or take. They grabbed him out of his house, beat the living tar out of him, tied him to a tree, and left him there for 2 days with a sign on his neck saying, "I'm a bad dad." Okay. And then finally, at the end of 2 days, they cut him free from the tree. Guess what? That motherfucker became the best dad you ever seen after that. Why can't that happen again? I mean, that's what I'm saying. If I had my choice on a lot of things, if the laws were not in place that there are today, I would handle my own problems my own way, my own how, without calling a cop. Okay. At all. Because it works. A good ass whooping works. I hate to tell you. A good ass whooping works. and it worked all the way up till about the mid 80s, the late 80s. You know what I'm saying? A good ass whooping works. But nowadays, you go and look at someone cross-eyed and gonna go whoop an ass, you go to jail.
Yeah, but you know what? It didn't work for my brother. The ass whooping didn't work for him. It just made him madder. So it worked for me. It didn't work for him.
I'm not talking about for mom and dad. I'm talking a good physical working over ass whipping.
Yeah, but the cops give us ass whippings every day.
That's a different story. That's the
Well,
way they do it. They go maim and kill. At least a lot of them, in my opinion. That's my opinion. Not saying it's true.
yeah.
I'm just saying that's my opinion about it. Okay. I'm talking, these people did not go to maim and kill him because they wanted him to be a good husband. They went and beat the living tar out of him and made him understand what he was doing was wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. Big difference.
Yeah. Well,
they didn't have weapons in hand. Okay. They didn't have weapons on their side to hurt and maim and possibly kill a person. Okay. Like the police do. Okay. They had no intentions of killing the man. They had every intentions to getting his attention. And they did. They got his attention very well. And it worked. Now there are some hard-headed ass people out there that gotta have it more than once. Okay.
well,
Maybe you have to do it more than once to make them.
It's the way the United States. It's the way that we the set of rules in the government was made, and a lot of it, we love America, and we that's why we love America, is the way that our founding fathers found it. But it just seems like to me that whatever's convenient for the legislatures to make new laws, to come up with just any stupid thing, like no filming in no filming the cops whatsoever, or no no filming in the public areas of the courthouse. I mean, they just at willy-nilly come up with these laws, and that's what's so scary.
Actually, nice guy, Louis. I feel sorry for the child and what that child had to go through. You cannot tell me even at 5, 6 months of age. Uh,
That baby's not going to remember. It could.
no, it will. You can't tell me it don't
No,
because
it'll be.
listen to me. Yes, because
Well,
I have a very good friend who remembers vividly
I doubt
her
that.
dad hitting her at
Yeah.
while she was in a crib. She
Uh,
also remembers vividly how a spider was crawling up her legs while
I
she was in a crib.
I just I can only hope that the baby will think positive, and hopefully that the baby will not be affected too much. It might be traumatized as the baby's traumatized at the moment, or maybe even months afterwards. But hopefully, it won't be a long term effect of the
I,
baby.
wa-
We can only hope.
I wasn't trying to argue. I was just giving you facts that I do know. It can happen. I'm not trying to be a dick, Peachy. I know sometimes I sound that way. I don't want you to think I'm wanting to be a dick to you. I'm not. Okay. I
Yeah.
just
Why would I think you're being a dick to me?
okay. Because I've been accused lately of being a dick and an ass when I wasn't trying to be that way.
No,
That's right.
I appreciate you trying to uh, explain yourself with that, but no, I don't take that way at all, Tammy
Okay.
Lynn.
Okay. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Odin, hello, and no, you cannot time out a balance. A balance is not doing anything wrong. And hello, AK Twin Mommy. How are you, hon? But I do
you,
feel sorry for the parents as well, or
you know,
the mother as
I,
well, because
I,
she showed how much she loved that child. I'm sorry. She
oh
had
yeah,
that child clutched to her breast and was holding it tight, and she did not want to let that child go. That
yeah.
was a loving mother. Everything she exhibited in her actions was that of a loving mother.
Well, we're
Okay.
going to pray that this is going to be a quick and swift outcome of her getting her baby back. That's my hope and prayers for the family, is for
Right.
them to get a quick return of their child. And I know AK has plenty to say about this. I'm sure, as her being a mom of three under three.
Right. She says, "Oh, I, I'm okay. Have to go see a doctor for my neck and back. Something not right.
Oh,
That
I'm
is
sorry.
not good, AK. I hate hearing that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well,
AK.
well, that's fine. Yeah, even though she is a beautiful woman, but I probably couldn't hold a candle to you in my looks. So that's fine, Odin. I'm not trying to take Peachy Rider home. I'm trying to just be polite to her because I have a high respect for Peachy Rider.
I think he might have been talking about AK twin mommy and not me. I don't I don't know. I'm not seeing the chat too well.
Peachy's nobody's property.
No, that's right.
Right.
I'm a vice property. That's right.
Yep, you're your
Well,
own
well said, A
property.
Bounce.
American
Well
name
said.
at core of what makes American different than every other nation. Sometimes, Mr. Harass, that is true. Some people sometimes outside the country do because they got different upbringings, they have different beliefs, and they have different ways they live their life in an everyday life outside this country than what we do. Like I was saying, with Ascari the other night, I'm sure she could really attest to it by going to Africa. I'm sure the Africans over there think we do very disgusting things and are very disgusting people. On the same token, we may look at their culture and say they do very disgusting things and are very disgusting people. So it's called the difference in culture and difference in beliefs and then difference in upbringing. So you're right. Some won't understand the American way, for outside the country.
That's what's beautiful about the world is that we're all different, and even if we're from the same culture, obviously we're still so much different. But that's what makes the world so beautiful. That's what makes the world go round.
Well, okay. Again, though, I'm going to say,
Oh my God.
AK Twin Mommy will probably choose you over me because your looks are probably more superior to mine.
So yeah, I told you he's talking about
So
AK.
I have to apologize to Mr. Razor Harass, and I think in the process I just doxed myself, but I finally clued into what was going on. I got pissed. Just a sec. I have to make an apology.
Uh-oh.
He'll be
He
back.
goes to make an apology and knocks himself out of the screen. Hey, Ballard, you didn't rage quit because you had to apologize, did you?
You better
I
not
messed
make.
with you, man.
I hope he has this on his own show. That's funny. I've seen a chiropractor and had I think that's supposed to be massage and not message,
Yeah.
that they think
Yeah.
it's a slip disc or a pinched nerve. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay. Did you do something to make an accident or a fall, or was it just just your everyday 2 or 3 jobs that you have, picking up your children constantly is probably what it is.
And those of y'all that think A Balance might be bootlicking, I don't care if you all think that for the simple fact he is bringing new perspectives on my way of thinking, opening my mind to different venues and different avenues that I may need to run down. If that's bootlicking, I thank him for being a bootlicker. Okay, because I've seen a couple people say he might be supporting the cops and all. If he is, well, at least he opened my mind to different venues and different pathways of thinking so that I may actually have to go down. Okay, and think that way. As I think we had a great discussion, and I hope he comes back and discusses more. If not, that's fine too. I understand he's got family and everything else. Uh, uh, I I have considered this a great discussion, and everything else. Even though some misunderstandings about what was being typed in chat, that's fine. It happens. That's the bad problem about chat. You don't get across what you want to say sometimes in the right manner because there's no emotion or no anything else like that for that matter.
Yep. And
when it comes to it.
And there's mistype too sometimes. Very well said, Tammy Lynn Lynn.
And it looks like he's wanting to come back to me. Yeah, you're right on that. You're right on that, Albert. If someone's if someone wants to dox, they've already done it.
No,
Especially
I'm
as
not.
long as you've been on.
I show my. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Tammy. Hold on. Yeah, just to respond to Albert in chat. Well, A Balance told you when he was talking about his email address, no worries, A Balance. It has nothing to do with doxing. I just use that as a term in loosely. So what I responded to earlier, it kind of caught me. It said, Mr. Azarhas, A Balance, do you think charity can be imposed and forced? And as I was sitting back here, I looked and I fucking snapped to myself because charity is my daughter's name. I thought somebody was giving a digs at my fucking daughter. So I'm like, fuck this dude. So I went into full battle mode. And then I'm sitting here thinking in the background, I'm like, I went up and reread it and I was talking in the background and it's like, A Balance, do you think charity can be imposed and forced? See what charity with a capital C is my daughter's name. So he must mean low C charity. But anyway, that's my daughter's name, everybody. So
Wow.
I just doxed my daughter, but whatever. That's funny. So I apologize to Mr. Masterclass.
I was wondering what you were having a fit about there.
That was a quinky dink.
Yeah.
That was a big
because
quinky dink.
I didn't take that as your daughter's name, I took it as he was talking about a
Well,
charity.
I call my daughter's name all the time on my tapes. Like she runs around the background, and I say, "Hey, Charity," or whatnot. I try to avoid any private information going out. But I mean, I just had to respond to that and let people know why I kind of got pissed off there for a second.
Yeah.
But I understand what he was speaking about now, and I apologize, Mr. Razor Harass.
Well, I
Yeah, no.
appreciate the explanation because I was lost, dude. Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
like, oh shit, he saw
Well,
something I didn't see. What's going on?
Yeah, I had to kind of say that. Now that was my daughter's name, and that's a coincidence. And there's a situation where the name pops up, and I'm like, oh damn, that name, it got me. I fucked myself. I played myself.
By the way, you named your name. You named your daughter a very beautiful name. Even MD said this is a nice name.
Well, I
And
just had to,
nice guy
I had to
Louis
let you
says
know.
it's a pretty name.
Hey, Balance, are you over here bootlicking again? What the fuck, man?
Sorry, buddy. I'm trying to fucking damage control myself this morning. It was it's been hell this morning. It's tough. Free speech isn't free, folks.
Actually, I've been appreciating our conversation here, A Balance. I really have. You opened my minds to different venues and different avenues to look
A
down.
lot of void there.
Yeah, sometimes you get hemmed up, and if when you're sitting around in a panel and you've got a room full of people, somebody's got to know the answer to something. We should be able to get somewhere and trying to figure something out in theory. But
Well, you gave me a lot of things that I need to look at and have to do some research on and find out and shit.
well, we
You know?
got ahead this panel, didn't we? You saw that,
Uh-huh.
Hey, Balance,
And
that
we're
explains
making
what.
progress. We're making progress by talking to each other. It's great, and I'm enjoying it.
Hey, Balance, that explains why all the damn snow's coming this way. You open a big void of his head. It's sucking all the weather this way.
it's a differential pressure situation.
Yep.
Are you saying I'm making his head swell there, Odin?
No, I just got a big empty head.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
So-
I'll get back off and I'll get out of your way. But I had to
But,
jump on just to let you know that, Tammy.
but I also wanted to know, even if you are boot looking, dude, I don't care. It opened my brain up. Okay, that's what I love about these panels is we're able to get different views and different personalities and things like that. And if we could talk cordially like we have, we can get things accomplished.
Absolutely.
And that's why I love these panels. I love it.
Yeah. Thank you, A Balance, for joining us.
Well,
And
I appreciate it. I'll be sitting here listening, so I'm not going very far, guys. Back
I'm
into my
still
normal
gonna
routine.
harass you until you do a video on me on your channel.
Oh, fuck. No worries.
But yeah, here's half the problem. You get these people to get all emotional and they're like full on board, following the sheep of the auditors, and yet they don't want to see both sides of the spectrum.
Well,
But
people
have
don't
we-
like to see when
I
they're
have to
wrong or
admit-
where they're wrong naturally. That's where confirmation bias comes in this situation, because everybody gets something in their head and they search for it online without, ever considering way back when another side to the coin. So I don't.
Well,
Have
Well, I
we been
have
like
to
that
admit-
though, Odin?
this time,
Huh?
I
Hold
would-
on, Tammy, just for a second, please. Let me address that real quick. Have we been like that, Odin, where we're not trying to see both sides?
That's the natural progression of things. I
Yeah,
think. You're right.
absolutely.
You want the
Well,
honest
that's
truth,
what I was
or do you
gonna-
want to lie?
Oh,
that's what I was going to get at. Is
Okay.
I can tell you now, when I first saw that video, honestly, if A Balance would have tried to come in here and talk to me last night, I would have told him fuck off. Honestly. So I was that mad. And I did want to see both sides. I didn't care to hear both sides. You understand? And that, as A Balance said, is a normal human emotion. Okay.
Especially when kids are involved.
And you know how I am, Odin, when it comes to kids. You know that. You've seen it in the past. Okay. And I will go more overboard for kids than anybody.
But you can't let your emotions control your situation, and that's where you're getting with that, I believe, Tammy.
Yep. Because
After a
last
little
night,
bit of time went by and you've let it digest, you're thinking about things.
When you're, for example, when you're a mod for a channel, like I am for you, Tammy, I have to think as my mod powers as a gun. If I shoot somebody's free speech because I don't like it, I am nothing more than a tyrant myself.
WTT, if you send me the grease, I promise you, I'll grease myself up for you. And start rubbing my nipple. Send me the grease, buddy.
There
Just saying.
are,
That image is never gonna leave my damn head.
there are a lot of your guys' mods that do ban off of hating cops, hating what people are saying, hating the C word, hating the word fuck, bitch, whore, slut. People get banned over small words like that.
Well, I'll tell you another thing last night that helped set me off was, see, before I even did my live panel, I called these police and they started demanding me and telling me what I was going to do and how I was going to do it. Okay. Uh, try people start demanding me to do shit. I'm the first person to cuss you out. Ask me, maybe I might do it, maybe I might not. And you'll get a respectful answer though. No, I'm not going to do it that way. Yes, I'll do it that way. Okay. Now, when you start demanding like I was, it was being demanded, I went to freak off on that cop like a space shuttle. Okay. I went straight to the freaking moon, buddy. And I let him have it. And yes, Gen T had to even come back here and ask me to please calm down. So, uh, and I still had a hard time calming down, as you seen. And I had actually calmed down quite a bit from talking to the cops before I did my live panel. That's how bad they had me. So,
You're about
And
like me. If you want me to do something, insist on me doing the opposite.
and certain ladies and men need to learn to think before they act and not go on emotions. And
Very true.
there's a lot of supporters that are falling into cop hating.
That's
And
true.
and you can see it. It's plain as day.
MD, I don't know if anybody ever called you offensive words. If they have, I missed it. You've always been a nice person ever since I've seen you, MD. So yeah, I'm just saying there.
I'm
So,
not sure if I can hear the bottom left-hand corner, Tammy Lynn.
uh, speak again, News Now Across America.
Hello.
Nope.
Nope, she can't hear you.
Can't hear me?
All right. I shall return.
All right, you know you're more than welcome to come back.
Thank you, honey. Yeah, I have something to say to Odin for a few minutes.
Hi, pretty woman.
Hey.
Hey, there's my future wife. Not.
Only in
Um,
your daydreams, there, Roden. Only in your daydreams.
The other part that I think also everyone needs to understand is in a lot of situations, yeah, we can kind of see what's, from the video going on. But before that video, do you know what happened? No. You don't know what was going on.
Exactly.
I don't think that, unless it's a true danger to a child, that a child should be taken away from their parents. No. And I mean, as far as I go, I'm not going to talk for anybody else, but I have seen situations where a child shouldn't have been taken away from their parents. But a lot of the times, yes, that does end up getting handled. But sitting there telling everybody about everything going on is not necessarily the right thing to do, right? Because if there is an investigation going on, and obviously there is, because that child was taken away, that then can go through the courts and sitting there telling everybody everything that's going on with it. Anyone that has had a court case knows when you're going through something, you don't sit there and talk about every little thing going on. My case is a little bit different. I'm not the one being charged with anything, right? And I don't give exact specifics on some of the things that are going on. And I do think that, at trolls or I actually kind of like A-Balance. I sometimes, I poke fun at him or whatever, but I mean no harm. I really don't. I've kind of stepped back from chats and I really don't talk as much. But I think they give out the other side. And I think that's important. Because we ask for transparency, but yet sometimes some of the people in this aren't willing to be transparent, and that's not right.
Look, for example, look at CCW. Look how he treated that one lady. Who was the true tyrant in that video?
Oh, yeah.
Odin,
I agree, Odin.
why would you even misinterpret what I was saying in chat in A-Balance's show? You were misinterpreting what I was saying about that whole situation. I didn't understand that, Odin.
Misinterpreted how?
That you were saying that I was supporting CCW and Cotilla's actions.
But yet, have you stood up against them? Have you gone to their channel and said,
Yes,
hey,
yes,
your actions,
yes, I
your
have.
actions
You want to go
that
see
day
it?
were wrong.
Yeah. You want to go see it? Yeah. Go look at it. I've got comments in his channel, and don't say something before you know the truth, Odin. If you haven't looked at it yourself, then don't assume. Go to his channel, look at all the comments and what people say. I pay attention to all that, and I take note.
So what I was saying, actually,
I've done it in two places. I did Lucinator 69, who he mirrored it. I did comments in his, and I did comments in CCW's.
Okay, relax, Peachy. So what I was saying that day triggered you enough to go and do it?
No, it was already done.
Already done, Odin.
Okay.
And yes, I have gone into his chats and called him nothing but a dirty ass piece of shit.
I don't know why. I don't know why people think they know me so well, but that's what triggers me, Odin, when people think they know me so damn well and they don't.
Well, Peachy, just coming from another woman and another person, just another human being, not even as a woman, just as another human being. This is the internet, right? And people are going to say things, and people are going to make assumptions, and people are going to do all these different things. In my opinion, in my own personal opinion, I don't care. I just personally don't care. I don't see a reason to allow what they think of me or what they believe of me to change what I'm doing in my life, or to allow them to take up space in my own head.
No, he's not. He's not taking up free rent in my head. It just, he's been a hypocrite because he has gotten on to me about talking about Discord and grouping all about saying Discord's just all bad when I haven't been in Discord. And I apologized abruptly to him, and I said, okay, well, I might have said a few things. I can't say that I haven't said anything bad about Discord, but then he turns around and he groups all this whole community of auditors and cop watchers together as one. So which is it, Odin?
Touche.
That's when I get a little bit fired up, and I apologize. I get passionate when I feel like that when I've been wronged, and maybe I shouldn't worry about that, AK. And I'm not saying that it takes up my in my brain. It stays in my brain, but for the moment, I get passionate about it, and then I let it go and I move on. But I like to have my say. AK, most of the time, I like to get it out there. I'm not the one to, just like he asked me if I had made a comment. Oh yeah, I made comments on many comments on both their channels where it was both posted. But I like to get it out so it's not in my head, AK. You know what I'm saying? I like to get it out there and get it resolved or talked about and get it out there and then I can move forward.
And believe me, I have gone on his stream. I've called him a dirty ass piece of shit and many other names. I personally, I said my piece and what I thought about him. I don't go back and watch him no more. He ain't worth my time to watch. Okay. He's a piece of shit. He knows what I think of him. That's it. Okay. If I say it again, what did I accomplish? Okay.
Well,
I said he's a piece of shit again.
I watched it by accident, not by accident, but I clicked on a link on another that was dropped in another channel. So I'm not going to his channel and watching his vids. Yeah. And then Lucinator 69 mirrored it, and I'd already seen it once, and then after I saw it one time, and Odin, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe it was after A Balance's show, but it wasn't you that triggered me to do that. It was me watching it twice and being upset all night. I hardly got any sleep that night, being so upset, Odin. So it probably was after A Balance's show, because I'm thinking about the timeline of it. I watched it. I got into the link, and right after I watched it, I saw A Balance go live, and I immediately went to his show. And if you look back at the chat, I was very upset through that whole thing where people were telling me to calm down. And then I was upset because I just watched it, Odin, and then watched it again at A Balance. That was the second time. And so I was just fuming. I was like Tammy Lynn last night. I was fuming mad at that behavior, disgusting behavior, unacceptable, childish, disrespectful behavior towards anyone. I don't care, man, woman, child, special needs or not. Anyone is unacceptable behavior. So I was extremely upset. And then watching it twice, it made me even madder on A Balance's show. And then it was probably after that that I made the comment. I left the comments.
News now across America is having problems with his stream. He's probably driving.
There's two of them. Yikes.
Yep, that's why I got rid of one of them. That don't work very well with StreamYards. When you have two of them on there, the StreamYards goes, "What the fuck?"
and Odin,
that may be why he's sitting there. That may be why he's sitting there and got the twirly thing going.
Yeah, the circle of death, and Odin, and it was me being so upset about it, and thinking, well, who am I to be upset about it and not leave comments? And that's what triggered me to leave those comments, having the time to do it, but also being that upset to say, hey, no, we're not, I'm not a sheeple in this community, nor am I a sheeple in the government. And I'm going to have my say. And matter of fact, I'm glad that I almost went live stream. I almost did a panel on just talking about some of that, but that's something I'm thinking over. And I don't want to open up a whole can of worms of pointing fingers at anyone over anything and start judging folks. But that hit me hard. Like this has hit me hard as well with this kid, but that hit me even harder with that video. And I'm going to shut up about it.
Yeah, that right there, unfortunately, I happen to be privy to it because of pretty much same circumstances there. And I'm like, what the fuck, and left because I ain't gonna put if I would probably got my channel shut down because of what I almost put into his channel when I seen him threatening a woman the way he did. That pissed
Good
me
evening.
off on no means.
Good evening, everyone.
Hey, Mito, how are you?
Good, buddy. How you doing?
Doing pretty good, bud. Doing pretty good.
Hi, Clickbait.
Hey, Peachy. How you doing?
Cheers. Odin? I'm doing well tonight. Thank you.
Are you still sending? Why, Mito? Are you still sending out those unique pictures.
No, man, that was on an old server. That thing's gone. Yours is gone too anymore, isn't it?
No, it's still there. It's
Is it?
different situation.
Yeah, I haven't been on any of that stuff for months. How's everybody doing?
Well, we're doing fine. I just wanted to say one thing, Odin, and unless he's deleted my comment, but I said that he was an embarrassment in the whole YouTube community across the world, is what I left on. It was the comment that I left, and that he needed to sell some his equipment to go to anger management, and that I was embarrassed for him.
That's funny.
And he used his service dog as an excuse because he knows what handicap is because he has a service dog or some crap like that. It's like, really?
Yeah, I don't know if he calls his dog a service dog, but
he did. He did.
Oh, did he?
had-
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And I believe that dog's more emotional support than a service dog. There's a difference.
Yeah, big
Well,
difference.
I would be, I would, I'm close to calling dog facts on that dog, and I've told him before on his channel, probably the last message I left, that when he was going on with his neighbor about how all the yelling was upsetting, it had to be upsetting his pet, his dog, and I knew that he loved his dog to death and vice versa, but animals, they get in distress with all the arguing and screaming and the way he carries on. And so that was probably my second to last message I left with him, was concerning his animal. And I joke about that, calling dog facts, but yeah.
If his dog is a true emotional support animal, it should be able to know how to adapt and adjust to his behavior, how to get him to stop yelling and screaming like a 5-year-old child. The dog would know how to calm him down. And that dog really doesn't do movement. It's not technically trained, what I've seen. But that's my own opinion.
I have no idea.
I almost have to agree with that opinion, though. There, Odin. I really do.
Well, I could talk about that situation for quite a bit. I'm still pretty infuriated, just like Tammy Linlin is with this. I was just as much infuriated with that. I should be that I'm infuriated with both scenarios, but I don't know all the details. I don't know all the details about his scenario. I don't even like to say his name, but I don't know no one knows all the details of his situation with that young lady, but I know enough to say that was unacceptable.
I do know the lady did try to put him in jail. Okay.
Well,
I do know that the lady also came and approached him. But
after they had called him out, Katilla had said, "Oh, there she is," and then CCW said something, and that called her attention to them, knowing that setting her up to come towards them because they know her to be a hothead, just like he is.
I was just about to go ahead and say that, and I'm glad you did. It's a very good point. I agree, but I don't give a crap. That woman was not in a threatening manner at first to nobody. Just because she walked over there to confront them because they spoke to her is not her going into a threatening manner. And he came up, "I'll beat your fucking teeth down your throat, bitch." I go, "What the fucking left?" That pissed me off. Especially when he's supposed to be this big bad ex-military motherfucker. And he's going to threaten a woman.
Well, not only that, he said that he was going to hit her if she hit Katilla.
Yeah.
Well, I hope I can hear Odin in that left bottom corner. Yeah, he said, "If you touch her, I swear to God, I will You know,
Yep.
I'm thinking, no, you won't hit her even if she does hit Catilla. I mean, he may break them. I would think to break them up, but I don't think Catilla can take care of herself.
I think Gudula probably could.
You know, hell yeah, she can take care of herself.
I
So
mean,
I
she
just think that
dwarfed.
whole damn thing was inappropriate. It was awful.
She dwarfed that little girl.
It,
I ain't go little woman. Okay.
it gives me PTSD. It strikes up my anxiety to watch that. I mean, I'm
Sure.
not lying to you. It does.
He,
To watch him, I can't hear Odin. I'll be back.
those two were the aggressors at
Yes,
first.
they were. I agree with you.
They should have
agree.
kept their cocksuckers shut and kept moving.
And
You may have to
Gentee's
bleep
right.
that out.
Gentee's right. He kept egging it on and trying to escalate the situation with her and trying to get her to try to do something. Okay. He kept trying to get it done. I'm not impressed with that. I was not impressed with what he did.
Ouch.
What was that?
He
You
said,
hurt
ouch.
my ears.
Someone did a scratchy noise and it hurt his ears.
Oh, I apologize. That might have been me just to see if my mic was live. I apologize, Odin.
It's all good. But
You did
by
it
the way,
We know you did it on purpose, PC, just to be mean. We know it.
you're hired.
Hey,
I'm
you
hired to
finally made
be
it back.
annoying.
Yeah, hopefully everybody can hear me now.
Oh my god, I
What?
can hear him. That's awesome.
Yep.
Who's hired, Odin, and for what?
We'll discuss the terms later.
Okay. I'm so glad I can hear that bottom left-hand corner. It's a glitch. It's a glitch in the system, and
Well, for some
Hey,
reason
good
on my
evening, our
tablet,
news
my phone,
now, and Gen T in the stream. I see you. Good evening.
my tablet and my phone both run off the same data. All of a sudden, even though my mobile data is on, the tablet just quit. It says it's offline. But the phone is what I'm on now. It's working.
We got two Peachy Riders things going on here. Hold on. Okay. There you go. Sorry about that. And there we go. And are you there, Peachy? Are you there, News Now Across America?
I'm here.
Okay. Are you there, Clickbait?
I'm here. Yep.
All right.
Howdy, everybody.
All right. That was funny. WTT just said this, and then y'all fucking just like disappeared. He says, I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. You people are making sense tonight. And as soon as I seen it come in the chat, everybody just went, boom.
That's funny. They're like, wait, this must be the wrong room.
yeah, I'm just so awesome. I thought I'd double myself.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Damn it.
right.
The world couldn't handle two of you, Peachy.
That's absolutely true. I know my family couldn't. Yeah. The teachers raising the coaches and the teachers going through school couldn't handle a twin of me for sure.
Yeah. I know that several of my teachers would have never been able to handle a twin of me.
No, yeah. Yeah. My brother was a handful in class as well. I think we're both pretty much hyperactive and class clowns.
Well, my deal wasn't that I was actually a class clown. My deal was I liked to prove the teachers wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And they hated that. My deal was if you're going to teach something, teach it right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, go ahead, News Now Across America.
I totally agree. I mean, it's like, I use my big thing's always been math. I was always good in school with math. Actually, it was the only thing I was worth a shit at school. But they get in like the algebra and stuff like that, and it's just, they really don't like it when you correct them. And they really, really, really don't like it when you're right and they're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I agree with you, Tammy Lynn.
Yeah, that's just like the cops, man. They can't just let it go. They have to always have the last word, always have to have you on your back foot or sitting beneath them. And they hate to be wrong. They don't want to see both sides of something.
Well, that's
Peachy could have been a DJ. She got a voice of a DJ.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
That's a psychological thing. I mean, you go in for a job interview, and if you'll ever notice, your the seat you're going to sit in is going to be lower than the one that the guy who's hiring you is going to sit in.
Yep, that's right.
It's so he's looking down on you, so that you feel like that you owe him. And most time, of course, I didn't get. There's many jobs I didn't get because of. Most time, if I go in and I see that situation, I just tell them, I think I'll just stand.
Yeah. Well,
if anybody wants to come in on the panel, there's the link, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to charge my phone and make a phone call to my mom. Looking at her in my little profile pic. I think she tried to call a couple
Mama
times.
Peach.
What's that?
Mama Peach, you're gonna call.
I'm gonna call Mama Peach. Yeah.
Yeah. And
by the way, later, Odin,
use that DJ voice with her when you call.
Thank you, sweetheart. All right, I thank you for having me on panel News Now, Tammy Lynn.
you're always welcome here, Peachy. You know that.
I appreciate it, sweetheart.
And I'm glad we had a very good discussion tonight. It was a very, very good discussion. A lot of good questions asked. A lot of good, hopefully, answers were given, and answers still need to be got.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
good stuff.
It was good stuff, especially the where that signature should be.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was a good point too with that dumb officer putting his hand where he put it, and it can bait someone to make it even look like he was covering up something,
Yep.
And I hope he learns after this experience to move your damn hand. If you're going to show something, show freaking all of it. Don't act like you're hiding something.
Yep.
Even if he wasn't, it looked like he was hiding something.
I agree.
And as we know that the cops, a lot of times they do hide things because we know that they lie.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, but ta-ta. And if you're on, I may come back later if you're still on. But
I probably won't be. I've been on for 3 hours.
Yeah.
But we've had a great discussion. Great panel tonight. I mean, I appreciated it. I appreciate everybody that was up here too, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, you're welcome.
I do.
I appreciate you, man. I mean, just having the guts to host a panel last night a couple of times and making phone calls that you did. It's I'm real proud of you, brother. I mean, you're just that kind of man, though. You've got a big heart, and but I'm glad that you took that step, that leadership position to put it out there. Not everybody will do that. To step up and host a show when something first comes out and make phone calls and put it on air. And you did that, and you take a chance on doing that because you take a chance with you put yourself out there, period. And then you do something controversial like this, and you take an even bigger chance with people coming after you of saying, no, you're wrong, you're right, no, you're wrong, right. You're coming from people all angles.
Right.
And
I had my peoples that were saying nay, nay, nay. You saw that earlier.
Yeah.
I had my people saying yay, 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 and I've had people I've seen in here go, well, I'm undecided still. So I've seen all three.
Yeah.
There in the chat tonight, which was great.
Yeah, and bravo for keeping an open mind.
Yes.
That's all
well,
we can
like
do.
I said last night, I would have not have. If
Yeah.
A Balance would have tried to come on my panel and tried to talk to me the way he did tonight, my mind would not have been opened to that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that now, because my emotions were too high. I was already pissed off at the cops to begin with. And then, you know, you're going to do it this way, you're going to do it this way. And no, again, I'm not going to do it this way. And I went off on them like Space Shuttle. Then that got me upset. And then the rest of it, no. I didn't like it. I was not in a good way last night. My mental state was not there to
Yeah,
listen
I
to
was
other people's.
yeah, I was concerned about you, and that's why I didn't go on panel either.
Yeah.
I was upset. I was already upset at the other video prior to that, and then that happened, and it got me more. I mean, I was having heart palpitations and having anxiety and all that business, and I just have to calm myself down and take a step back from all of it. But cuddles and prayers and love to everyone, and peace out. I'll catch you guys later.
Yeah, same to
Thanks,
you.
Peachy.
All right, guys.
I hate that you just came on News Now Across America. Like I said, I've been on for 3 hours, man. I'm about ready to call it quits. A little over 3 hours. I'm about ready to call
Hey,
it quits.
Tammy,
My eyes are getting
plus,
where they're burning.
plus
Yeah.
you were on an OG stream for a couple hours earlier today, huh?
Do what?
I said you were on OG stream for a couple hours today too, huh?
I was on OCs for a little while and talked to A Balance there and talked to Mark, talked with DSS. Yes.
Yeah. All right. You gonna go live later, or that's it for today?
I'm probably done for the day, dude. I did 3 streams in the last 2 days. I probably spent almost 16 hours on live streams in the last 2 days. You know, I'm tired.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Yeah.
And hey, am I right? Peachy's got like a DJ voice.
Yeah, but you got the most
All right,
screwed
we'll see you
up
later,
voice.
buddy.
You got the most screwed up voice with the prettiest picture ever.
The face don't match the voice at all.
That
But I
face does
sure
not
look
fit.
good. I look
Yeah.
fantastic.
Well, y'all, I appreciate everyone that came in and talked in my in my chat. Also, you did a great. You had great questions. You had great comments. Everything tonight. It was a great stream. I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate you all coming on here. Yeah, I appreciate you, News Now Across America, last night coming in and talking as well about this particular subject. Sorry I wasn't as receptive as I could have been to what you
It's
had to
okay.
say.
I mean, I
Okay,
do have a tendency to be the devil's advocate sometimes. I mean,
right,
just because people need to try to see the whole thing. I mean, and it's not that I agree with the other people either
right,
at all. It's just that well, like I think Pete just said earlier, you don't know unless you know the whole story, unless you knew what happened from the beginning, until that minute.
That's why I was not addressing that particular part of the subject. I was addressing the actions of the cops.
Right.
Okay, 2 different subject matters there. Okay,
Yeah.
it happened to be over that particular subject. Okay, but another subject matter came in, and that was the integrity of the cops to uphold the law, that they took an oath to uphold the law and uphold the Constitution.
Right.
Their integrity came into play. Okay.
Right.
I even told the AI or IA, excuse me, Internal Affairs. That's what I felt. I felt as though that their integrity came into play. I even questioned him when he said he was going to jump me over to another person. Okay. And I because I called their integrity into play. I mean, you just broke your oath. What means you ain't lying to me now? You know,
Right.
you're gonna lie about your oath. Why are you not? And why are you not arresting these cops that broke the law? You know, shit like that. You know, I that's what I asked. I actually asked all them questions. You know, and then we got in a discussion also about the difference of how a writ is supposed to be presented with a warrant. Uh, um, some say a writ can be uh, just the writ, and it serves as the warrant. But
Yeah.
according to what I read, it said it is supposed to be in conjunction with the warrant. In conjunction means they both have to be served. Okay.
Right.
So I mean, you see, uh, that's the way I took that. Okay, is both have to be served at the same time in conjunction with each other. Okay, excuse me. Not separated or one only one or whatever. Now others say that the writ could be just the warrant. Okay, you know, wording is everything on that, evidently. Okay. Uh, I'm going to promise each and every one of y'all that questioned me and what I had to say on the writ, I'm going to do more research into that.
Good.
Okay. So I can get a better overview of the difference and what all's doable and what can and cannot be done with a writ and everything else. So
Right.
I promise you that. I promise you that. Y'all opened my eyes to the possibility I may have been wrong. And I'll tell you if I was fucking wrong. I'm the first one to admit when I was fucking wrong, if I'm wrong. But if I'm right, I'm coming with the proof. Okay.
Right.
And that's it. Okay. This time. Because we got to have this type of proof right here. Okay. That way the questions can quit coming and we can
Right.
move forward on past that point too. You see, if I'm wrong, then I can move forward on past that point. If they're wrong,
Right.
then they can move forward on that past that point, and we can possibly get something fucking done. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
that's another reason why I'm going to shut down the panel so I can start doing some research and things like that into different things. I had my mind open tonight to different venues and different paths to travel down and think about, and also do research on. So I appreciate everybody. I do. It was great, and I want to help with this.
Well, I appreciate you having me on your panel, and I appreciate it. Hey, I've enjoyed listening to everybody's input on it, and hearing what everybody has to say about it too. I mean, it's having an open conversation about things that people find uncomfortable. You get a lot more answers that way. Anybody can talk about things that are comfortable to talk about.
Mhm.
But when you go into the areas where people tend to run away from it, well, you don't you tend to
This
be
is
more
what I
honest.
this is what I've run head on into many times
Right.
since President Bush Senior was in. Okay,
Right.
so that's how long I've been dealing. Actually, I've been dealing with this a little bit, probably before that, because of the situation I was put in while I was growing up. Uh, with them trying to steal me from my mom over a lie. Okay.
Right.
Well, that sort of probably got my view maybe a little more skewed and more attuned to wanting to help with this. Okay. Um, and it did maybe skew my view too, to where I was less willing to listen. Okay. Okay. So, I'm hoping I can show that I'm willing to listen to each and every person, my naysayers, my yay sayers, my maybes, whatever. I'm hoping I can show that, and that's my whole intentions.
Right.
So that, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And I'm going to have to end this broadcast now because I also got to piss. So, y'all have a good night. I will talk to y'all later, maybe tomorrow, after later on in the evening. We'll see. If not, we'll talk when we can when I get a chance to talk. Y'all have a good night, and hope the rest of the evening goes as well as this panel did.
All right, everybody in the stream, God bless, take care, and Tammy Lynn, you have yourself a good one, and get you a good night's sleep after you get done studying.
All right. Yes, sir. You have a good night, man.
All right.
There we go.